Look at him, he's heading for that small moon.
I think I can get him before he gets there. He's almost in range.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
What's going on, fellow fanatics? Appreciate all of you guys being here this evening. As usual, we appreciate you guys so much. Let's see, we've got... Who do we have here tonight so far? We've got Kenny, who was first in the chat tonight. We've got Savage, who's here. Connoisseur, Triple Salute. Elliot, Cardboardology. Profess the Film Fan, Zang Beto, Snyder, Steppenwolf. Appreciate all of you guys being here tonight. There are some things that we are going to get into and discuss today. I was expecting a slower news day, but it hasn't been. But we kind of talked about that too. We said once we kind of got past the new year and things started to come up that we would start probably seeing a lot more news. Officially, MG, appreciate you being here. Start seeing a lot more news and things like that about, in relation just to movies in general. Because 2023 is going to... I was talking to my mom last night and I told her, this year feels different. It doesn't feel like coming out of 2020 into 2021 or even coming out of 2021 into 2022. This year feels like a positive year. And not just a positive year. It feels like shit is back on track. Like movies are definitely back on track. Movies, this is going to be one of the best years as far as movies we get to see in theaters. The content we get to talk about, the things we get to, see and things like that. So it looks like I said, this year it looks pretty positive. So, and with that comes some of the news here that we're seeing more and more news instead of it being, slower weekdays. But we'll talk today about Ant-Man. We'll talk about the Ant-Man 3 trailer that we all watched last night, obviously. You guys were here with me. We watched it together. We're going to talk about that, break that down. We're also going to talk about Black Cat being removed from Spider-Man 4. This is per Sony. This is not a Marvel decision. This is Sony's decision. And as always, Sony is going to Sony. But Black Cat being removed from Spider-Man 4. Doctor Strange 3 being pushed forward before Secret Wars. And if you guys remember when we talked about the kind of leaks from the mod, the subreddit, we talked about those yesterday. That is something that I kind of brought up. I didn't bring up Doctor Strange, but I did say that some of these projects are going to have to be shifted in order for, Secret Wars. And we've been talking about that before anyway, in order for Secret Wars to make sense. And then the last thing that we're going to talk about is Nate Moore. We have not talked about Ly Moore in a minute, and but he is out here bumping his gums again, and we are going to talk about what he's discussing. He is discussing Bishop and Storm, so from the X-Men. So we're going to talk about that. But as always, if you are new here and you would like to join our Discord page, the link is down below in the bio. You can join our Discord page there. That is the easiest way for us to get in contact with you when we do giveaways. You can give us your mailing info through there. It's also a way for you to join a vastly growing community, and I do mean vastly growing, and I so appreciate all of you guys for it. But if joining a vastly growing community that has wonderful conversations throughout the day in there, they're always talking about several different things, from comic books to movies to sometimes even anime to so many different type of conversations that are in the Discord. So if you'd like to join the Discord, you can. The link is down below, and you can join the Discord there. Also, if you notice, I think our videos have ads back on them. I think they do, because we're back monetized. At least I noticed that we are back monetized. It's not letting me do super chats for whatever reason, so maybe that part's not back yet. But we are back monetized, so that is it's really cool to see. Since I don't see that, and if you would like to, I will pin this yet again. This is pinned, and this is the Streamlabs page. You can send a donation there if you would like to throughout the show. It's going to act the exact same way as a super chat. It will pop up on the screen. Once it pops up on the screen, we will read whatever your comment or question may be, and then we will address it and then move on with the show from there. So I appreciate, again, everybody that's here. Raymond, see you in here. Amari, appreciate it. Stevie, appreciate you being here. And then Kellen, how was your day?
Pretty good day. It was my day off, so I just slept in pretty late and did some chores around the house, played some God of War. I'm almost done with all the side quests.
Oh, you still haven't beat the game.
I beat the game.
Oh, you beat the game.
I beat the game a while. I beat the game like 30 hours ago. But
oh, okay.
I skipped like pretty much all the side quests because like it gives you options. Like at certain points, they'll be like, Mimir will be like, oh, I fucked some shit up over there back like a few hundred years ago. Maybe we can like right some wrongs, and then like you can just move on, and it'll be like, or we cannot. So I mainly just did that. because I just wanted to beat the game before it got spoiled to me.
Right.
It's been fun going back and doing all the stuff and collecting all the stuff. But pretty much all I did. How about you?
Work today, like I said, delivered stuff today. Slower day today. We didn't really have a lot of work today, but just deliveries. That's all I do now. So like I said, my days are gun ho better.
Yeah.
So yeah. But we'll get into some of the stuff that's going on here. So let's move this on over so you guys can kind of see the article here. Now, this was announced. Yes, last night. This was announced last night. Last night we had saw the report that Doctor Strange is being fast-tracked and moved forward to come out before Secret Wars. And that was kind of something I had mentioned last night. I didn't mention Doctor Strange, but I did mention like Clea and the dark, seeing Marvel spoiler subreddit had talked about coming in the future of the MCU, and we were kind of wondering, and what were we going to see that coming? The Midnight Suns. Where were we going to see that start to form? Is that going to be in Blade? Are we going to see that maybe with something in Moon Knight? Are we going to see something with Ghost Rider even maybe? Or were we going to even see something with Doctor Strange? But I was like, but he's with Clea. But they could put Clea a part of the Midnight Suns if they wanted to, Yeah. But now that this is now moving forward, obviously we would have to see a Doctor Strange 3 before Secret Wars.
Right.
So now seeing that this is going on, this is coming from the Direct. I'll read to you guys what they are saying. It says, new rumors suggest that Marvel Studios intends to release Doctor Strange 3 sooner rather than later. While it's true that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was only released in May of 2022, despite being a commercial success, the film set up more than it accomplished. Oh, that's true. Following the announcement of the multiversal saga, Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars, fans questioned Stephen Strange's involvement and how this sequel would contribute. Now, new rumors indicate that Benedict Cumberbatch, the three-eyed sorcerer, may be starring in his own threequel before the Avengers assemble again. According to insider Jason Kane at Great Phase, Marvel plans to release another Doctor Strange film before Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, and with Scott Derrickson back in the director's chair. It goes on to say, in a tweet, the scooper claimed that 2026 will include Doctor Strange 3, Kang Dynasty, and Eternals, and the Eternal sequel. 2026, Doctor Strange 3, Kang Dynasty, and Eternal sequel. They are exploring moving Avatar 4 up to November or delay it back a year to give Secret Wars December instead of pushing it to May 2027. So, remember guys, I also said that I believed that 2027 was on the table for them to push things back, because we've been seeing pushbacks. Like Echo got pushed back to 2024, which I think is going to be good for the show. Because again, as I stated before, I do like Echo in the comics. The MCU's Echo, you didn't give me enough to care about an Echo series. Right. So I think, pushing it back and maybe juicing it up a little bit, hyping some things up, that could be good for it. Then you've got Agatha Coven of Chaos has been also pushed back to 2025 after Daredevil Born Again. Again, because they're needing to add things. I mean, you can't say, I don't think it's out of the scope to say, they are trying to juice things up, make things better, make things bigger even, make things make more sense, make things be meaningful even, because there were some things that just in Phase 4 that just, again, weren't meaningful enough to care about moving into Phase 5. And so, even right now in Quantumania, they are doing reshoots right now, like as we're talking. Like they are doing reshoots for Quantumania. So Marvel's constantly shifting and doing things to make things, better. But to see that they're wanting to keep it, where it is instead of pushing it to May 2027, I like that, because I'm like, yes, I really never want that to be pushed back to another year, so I like that that's being said. But this is coming from Big Screen Leaks, supported certain details of this rumor by posting the following: just heard this as well, not sure about Dickerson returning though. Scott Derrickson first directed 2016's Doctor Strange and was expected to helm Doctor Strange 2 before Sam Raimi was brought on board. While multiple sources are reporting on Doctor Strange 3 sooner than later, there are currently no untitled release slots ahead of Avengers: Kang Dynasty. Therefore, if Marvel intends to squeeze in Doctor Strange 3 or any other MCU films ahead of Avengers 5, delays would be necessary, as these rumors suggest. It's also worth noting that James Cameron already mentioned the possibility of delaying Avatar 4 to 2027, which would allow for some additional reshuffling and lucrative and a lucrative December 2026 slot. Also, back in October, Charlize Theron teased that she has some work to do in terms of her Doctor Strange 2 character, Clea. So, yeah, that's kind of what we know here about Doctor Strange. So I think it's... But what the direct did say in there that I want to point out, again, that's very true. That we could be seeing a shuffle, not just... If Doctor Strange just has to be moved, then that means some things are going to have to shift in order to make room for it, there. Right. Unless Marvel knows something we don't know, but we've seen the slate for Phase 5, and there are no empty slots. I don't know where you would fit Doctor Strange in. I don't know. So we could be seeing other things shuffled. Again, I'm hoping that it's not Secret Wars, but we could be seeing some things shuffled out in Phase 5. Some things that are maybe pushed back further in Phase 5 at least. So that's kind of what's going on with Doctor Strange there. I'm happy. I'm glad. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm glad that we do get to see a Doctor Strange 3 before Secret Wars. I was never one that was questioning his involvement in Secret Wars. I was more so questioning how they were going to make it make sense that he was in Secret Wars. But seeing that, this film is moving forward, we're going to get to see Clea, which obviously we're probably going to see her involvement in some kind in Secret Wars, if not heavily involved in Secret Wars, and then moving forward in the MCU, Doctor Strange's life and everything like that. So yeah, I'm really interested because I want to know where that film is going also. It ended with her saying, "You caused an incursion, now you're going to help me fix it." So I'm really interested where that's going, and obviously that's got to tie right into either Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars, because if he's caused an incursion and Kamala Khan has caused an incursion in the Marvels that we're going to see this summer, and it's like, It's interesting. It's interesting. That's why I'm wanting them to pull all this together so I can know what the fuck we're doing. Right. Like I have my my speculations and things like that, my theories, but
it's just not a lot to base on.
Yeah, it's not a lot to base it on. Yeah. No,
this is good news. One, just because we're getting it sooner, but two, because we've been talking for a while about there's so much that needs to shift into place to pull off Secret Wars, and Doctor Strange is one of the characters we've been talking about as one of the longer lasting ones, definitely one of the more powerful ones that they have. They're going to be going up against Kang. We got Kang Dynasty too. We've been talking about this, and what I'm hoping we get from this film too is another level up Strange. I'm hoping that we finally get we finally Q can finally be happy with the Doctor Strange movie, and that what he learns about incursions, what he learns being with Clea, all that he just basically levels up in his power, and we get more out of we get it closer to the comic Strange level of power, which they're gonna need if they're going to do Kang at that level too, and we're bringing in characters like Sentry, and so this is encouraging. I'm curious, you, to see what's going to have to shift to fit it in, and if any other projects are going to get moved up.
Right.
If they're going to, not push back Secret Wars, because there's just some answers we need, before
gaps got to be filled for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. But as always, question is for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about Doctor Strange being shifted and moving forward, coming before Secret Wars, and now kind of putting some of those conversations to rest about is Marvel going to make it make sense for him to be in Secret Wars if Doctor Strange 3 was coming after. So, let us know in the comments down below what you guys are thinking about that. What are the comments saying that?
Let's see. Sorry, I'm having to get past people just saying hi to each other. Let's see. Steppenwolf says the fact that Multiverse Saga will end in 2027. It's only 6 years since the saga started in 2021. It just feels so rushed, man.
And we have yet to see anything multiverse.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just not
some paint.
I'm just not happy with the multiversal saga.
Yeah. No, they need to level it up. I'm kind of hoping that that'll happen after we get the new Spider-Verse movie. Like, I'm kind of hoping that that's going to kind of supercharge things and, like, show how to really do it.
Right.
And that maybe Marvel will take notes, but I don't know, that could be wishful thinking. Yeah, Raymond said, like, really at this point, who really cares about this? We know you don't, Raymond. There's few that you do. He also said the same people who love Phase 4, same people who can't have a negative thing to say about Marvel. I love Doctor Strange as a character, but who cares?
Yeah, you know, like I said, there are people that are going to feel a certain way toward, you know, Marvel right now. I mean, I have my feelings toward Marvel right now and things like that. There are things that I don't care about, because there are things where I'll see reports and I'm like, who the fuck cares? You know,
Honestly.
There are some reports I see, I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, like Echo's one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, just projects like that.
Yeah, I'm like, who? I don't care. But then there are things, because I do want to. I'm interested to see what. I mean, the reason I'm so interested in some of this stuff involving Secret Wars is because you guys all know my trepidation for Secret Wars. My curiosity also for what Marvel's the MCU is going to do with Secret Wars. And, you know, I was one of the ones that has been saying, how the hell are you adding Doctor Strange if he's doing whatever the fuck with Clea?
Right.
And, you know, just a lot of different things. I still have, I mean, I have a list. I mean, it's not just Doctor Strange. I have a list.
Right.
But, you know, and at the top of that list is Kang being the Beyonder, but that's another rant.
I saw a video on YouTube about that today. Is that, like, coming from, like, a rumor? Like,
That's coming from My Time to Shine Hello. She says that Kang is going to be the Beyonder, and it's Jonathan Majors playing him.
See, I don't like that at all.
I don't like it either.
I saw that. I saw, like, a little... I think it was a TikTok, but it was on YouTube. I saw it earlier today, and I was thinking, what the fuck? I hope that they don't do that.
Yeah, I'm. That's what the rumor is. I mean, that's the rumor right now, that he is the Beyonder.
So
and
we're getting a little TJ Beyonder.
He's like gonna
What
be.
is this?
He's like from what. This is just a theory. I have not heard any thing from My Time to Shine Hello outside of that he is the Beyonder. So this is just my theory. I'm assuming the Kang we see in Quantumania is gonna be the Kang that we get in Kang Dynasty, the Kang we learn about in, if the special is true, the Nathaniel Richards special after Kang Dynasty going into Secret Wars. And that Kang is going to... They're not... Make no mistake. They are not doing... Like, it's not going to look anything like Hickman's. It's not going to look anything like Shooter's. But they're adapting certain things. So what we're going to see is you're going to take Doom out, replace him with Kang, and again, this is my theory. I'm assuming what they're going to do is that, and then they're going to have it be some scenario where maybe Kang takes the Beyonder's powers. If
When
the
you said that
Beyonder,
about Doom, that's what I was
I mean,
wondering.
if this is assuming that they even make the Beyonder someone who was never Kang, maybe Kang has maybe the way the Beyonder got his powers, it was from the cube. The cube, help me, chat. Whatever the fucking cube. What's the name of that damn cube? The cube that gave the Beyonder his powers. Maybe Kang finds that shit. I don't know, or something like that, and it gives him the power. I don't know. This is why I don't like it.
Right.
I just don't like him being the Beyonder. But like I said, that's
I
just
don't
another...
like it because it's Secret Wars. Like, why? Like, the Beyonder, like, really fucking matters. In both iterations.
Cosmic Cube. Yes, the Cosmic Cube. Thank you. To Jinx and Edward Stewart. Thank you. Yes, the Cosmic Cube. That is the cube that where the Beyonder gained his... Like, he was basically born, created, gained his powers, everything. So it's like... yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it. But, there's an interesting line that Janet Van Dyne says when she says in the trailer, she said he can rewrite existence and shatter realities. The only other person we know in the MCU right now that can do that is Wanda. So I don't know. I have things when we get to the Ant-Man conversation.
Yeah. We got Black Exploitation saying, who's going to be the villain for Doctor Strange 3, Mephisto, Nightmare, or will it be Kang? And when do the Midnight Suns come in?
Mephisto, Nightmare, or will it be Kang? I don't think it's going to be either Mephisto or Nightmare. I don't even think it's... I don't know, man. It's
hard to say.
I don't think Mephisto at that time will be in the MCU.
He will be by then?
By that time, he'll be in the MCU.
So when is he debuting?
Ironheart.
Ironheart? Okay.
Weird as fuck, but
really?
Ironheart, yeah.
I must have forgot that because it's so weird.
Yeah, it's strange as fuck.
It's an odd fit. Okay. Alright.
Ironheart, but rumored also... Well, not rumored, but... I mean, rumored. All this is rumored. Coven of Chaos.
Makes sense.
But other projects, we just don't know what those other projects are. So possibly a Mephisto type deal in here. I don't know. I mean, why would Strange be going to Mephisto when about an incursion? I don't know.
Right, that's where it's.
But I don't know. I don't know. But if I had to choose one of the two, I would choose Nightmare. I would prefer to see Nightmare as the villain. I just don't know where you fit Nightmare in with, again, the story being you caused an incursion, now you're going to help me fix it. Then how does Nightmare play a role in that? You know what I'm saying? While you're dealing with an incursion, now you're dealing with Nightmare. That's two completely different movies. I don't know. So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe the villain's the incursion.
Maybe.
The Jinx says, I think they should merge the Echo show into Daredevils.
I
got 18 episodes.
I'm not disagreeing with you because I just don't see again the draw. I could be wrong. Should I poll it? Let me poll it. I always need to poll it. When I don't know, because I could be wrong. Shit. Let me put, are you checking for Echo on D plus? Where the fuck's the plus sign? All right. Yes, no.
Maybe so.
Y'all let me know, chat. So, I don't know. I don't disagree with you though. I don't disagree with you.
It's looking like a lot of hell no. Between hell no and no.
And you know why no one's checking? Now, a lot of people, your opinions, your mileage could be very different from mine. Me personally, I'm not checking because you didn't excite me the first time. Right. It's the same fucking reason I still haven't watched Andor. Yeah. There was no draw after episode 1. There was nothing that, and it's nothing against the actress, Miss. I don't know her last name's Cox. Is it? It's nothing against her. Her portrayal of Maya Lopez, great. Her first time acting too, fantastic. There was still no draw for me to say, but God, when that Echo series gets here, that's gonna be the one.
That's been the problem of Phase 4.
Yeah.
That's what separates it from all the other phases. All the other phases, we had characters we really cared about that, like, were able to lead to Infinity War having the weight that it had. Like, if it's characters like Echo,
right,
in a similar type of movie, like, nobody's crying in the theaters. It's not some, like, huge thing.
Yeah, it's not that Iron Man feel.
Yes.
You know, like I'm saying, that's the difference. We cared about those characters.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of a character that wasn't already established before Phase 4 that I actually care about.
Right. I mean, I'm not mad at Kate Bishop, but, like, I can't say I care that much.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Kate Bishop.
I didn't watch Miss Marvel.
I liked Makari and Druig, but that was the relationship that they had, and of course I like Icarus. But I like Icarus in the comics, so that's a biased thing for me.
Right. I haven't really, yeah.
Unless
Even
She-Hulk's
Ironheart?
written
Yeah.
differently,
Right.
I
Yeah, it's going to be hard to.
yeah, I mean, no.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I'm sorry. As I always say on this show, what I always say, I will give credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
Tanat was still a great Namor. He was still a good Namor.
Yep.
Although, be it the movie is terrible, he himself as Namor,
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see him outside of Wakanda forever and doing something else in the MCU as Namor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested. I am interested to see what he does in the future of the MCU as Namor. But outside of that, outside of the ones I named,
What's female Loki's name?
Sylvie.
Yeah. I kind of care about Sylvie.
If you would have talked to me in June of whenever that show came out.
Right, but yeah, by now.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
See, we were really searching to come up with like two.
I care about Loki for damn sure.
Yeah, but predated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Obviously, yeah. I did say that. No characters before.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
Yeah, anyone we care about either are like getting ran over by snow plows or like finding out they have Alzheimer's. So like it's not great.
Yeah.
It's really not great. Let's see. Steppenwolf said no Molecule Man, no Doctor Doom, no T'Challa, no Miles. How is this Secret Wars?
Wait, say that one more time. No. Who said this one first?
Steppenwolf did.
Okay, go ahead.
Said no Molecule Man, no Doctor Doom, no T'Challa, no Miles. How is this Secret Wars?
Right. So, no Molecule Man that we've heard. No Molecule Man. I doubt there will be a Molecule Man.
Right.
Miles, we've also heard no Miles. Now on the Doctor Doom thing, we're not sure on that one.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's the MCU's Doctor Doom. It very well could be. But we do know that they are going to be bringing in villains from other Marvel franchises. Mm-hmm. And that is, the older things outside of the MCU. And they are currently, obviously, the two Doctor Doom portrayals that we've had. Now, we could see them brought in. I don't know. But they did say in the leaks that we've read that it's villains and heroes from outside the MCU coming in. Obviously, that is Secret Wars. You got to have the villains and the heroes. So,
yeah,
the Doctor Doom thing may not be ruled out.
I hold out hope that we'll have Doom.
I do too. I think if they're smart.
We are having a Fantastic Four film before then, right?
Yes.
I'm not expecting that necessarily Doom in that film, but
yeah, they've said he will not be the villain in the film.
Which I like that they're not automatically jumping
me
to.
Too.
Yeah, I think you build to that, but
the Rogues Gallery is so deep you don't have to go straight to Doom.
No, I think that's a waste of him. He needs to be developed.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dougie Fresh said trying to tackle multiverse and timeline at the same time is also an issue.
Yeah.
He's talking about Doctor Strange, and if got some of these people. Perp Minded, what if Miles from Into the Spider-Verse pops up in an animation form for Secret Wars? What would that look like? Would it be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, that would look like me really wanting my money back.
Right.
I would not want. I would hate to see a animated Miles running around with live action everyone else. That when I tell you, it would piss me off. I'd be like, yeah. And you did it to the brother? No.
Right.
No, I need to see a live action Miles.
Honestly. It's too bad that the guy who does his voice looks too old to play him live action, because I love, the way he plays the character.
Yeah, but me too.
I don't know. Maybe they'll work something out. But yeah, no, that would take me so out of it.
Yeah.
Raymond said, who the hell cares about a Strange Academy? Comics were stupid, and this will be stupid.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing there. That's another series that, when I saw that news line.
Did that just get announced?
Yeah, it's going to be Wong's series, and it's going to be adapting Strange Academy. It's going to be him and America Chavez, and I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
It sounds like it could. And I said this last night.
Might be Madison.
Yeah, well, I bet you she will be in it.
Yeah.
I said this last night. Like, when I see a Wong series and I look at an Echo series and I look at a Wonder Man series, at face value, which are you choosing? Me personally, I'm choosing the Wong series because with Wong, he is the Sorcerer Supreme. You're going to get magic. You're going to get all types of, possibly cosmic magic.
Plus,
and all,
we do give a fuck about Wong.
Yeah, and we do give a fuck. Now, if I'm looking at face value at an Echo series, a Wonder Man series, and a Wong series, I'm going with the Wong series.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do feel what Raymond says on, I also don't care.
Right.
Just like, okay.
I just feel like they're focusing on so many different things, and there are things we actually really are excited for and do really care about. And I feel like they could maybe cut some of these other things to put more energy and focus and more reassurance into the fan base, who they've kind of shaken that. We never used to question Marvel.
No.
This is a recent thing.
Yeah,
they've got to earn our trust back, honestly. Like, because at this point, we can't really count on them to deliver in a way it just used to be automatic. Like, oh, it's Marvel, they're not gonna fuck this up.
Man, I used to before every Marvel film, I would post on my Snapchat story, Marvel about to do it again. I haven't done that in the last 4 Marvel films.
Yeah.
I'm just like, are they?
Yeah, because otherwise you might be coming out being like, "Hey, about what I posted on my way in, feeling a little different on the way out."
Yeah, it's like, are they? I'm not sure. So.
Yeah. Steppenwolf says the Beyonder and Kang are not even connected. What's wrong with these people at Marvel Studios?
I'm telling you.
That's how we feel too. Oh yeah, they were telling me it was the Cosmic Cube. Part Minded said that beacon at the end of Shang-Chi has to be a beacon to the quantum realm.
Possibly so.
Possibly so. That's possible. Grand Regent Thrag, now that I think about it, why the hell isn't Strange leading the Avengers now?
Oh, he's stopping incursions with Clea.
Yeah, pretty much. That'd be why. That and...
Because they want it to be Sam.
Yeah, they want it to be Sam. But also, Strange just kind of lone wolf shit and kind of doesn't really trust relying on others. He's not really a leader.
Yeah,
I'll
agree there too.
Part-minded, Kang probably made a deal with Wanda to get her on his side, similar to what he's doing to Scott.
We could see that too. I mean, I remember those. I can't remember the exact leaks that it was a couple months ago, but there was some connection between Wanda and Kang, but there was someone else. Was Wanda Kang, and someone else. I don't remember who the third person was. But something with Wanda and Kang. I haven't seen anything since then.
Yeah.
But a couple months ago, something did come out about that. But yeah.
He could even promise her a way to get her kids.
Could.
And without taking them away from another her.
Right.
There's things he could use for leverage. Raymond also said, what the hell's Riri gonna do with the devil? Give him an Iron Man suit so he can fly to Georgia.
Yeah, I'm like I said, his presence in the show is perplexing.
Yeah.
Besides what we know.
Yeah, we got people agreeing that there's just not really a draw for Echo.
Go down some, because we do need to get to them.
Okay, here, I'll go down to the bottom and read the last few. Looks like down the bottom they're kind of doing their own thing now.
Cleve 17 said, do we think Ghost Rider will show up soon? I do. I do. So. Because actually, and the only reason I say I do is because that's coming from The Watcher. The Watcher had put something out about Ghost Rider coming into the MCU sooner rather than later. So, yes, I think he's coming soon.
That'd be cool. Let's see, we'll do one more. Hungry Almighty said, if Doom is not the villain for Secret Wars, then why not have him be the reason why they win? Imagine MCU Doom and old Fox Doom teaming up and scheming to take down Kang.
That was kind of some of the theories we've been seeing, is that both of the Dooms would team up and have their own you know, Doom always has his agenda.
Yeah.
Have their own agenda to take out Kang, you know, whatever. So we could see something like that. That's honestly something we really could see.
Yeah.
If they're gonna take Doom out, that's a little wild, but it's the MCU. Killing T'Challa was wild. So if they're gonna take Doom out, I don't know what you do there, but if you're gonna keep him in and, you know, without, I guess, bringing in our main Doom, then you use those two as the Doom in your version of Secret Wars.
Right. Yeah.
Let me see. I see. Raymond 2000 said the New Mutants roster is better than this current Avengers roster. Yeah, I got asked about the current Avengers roster last night, and yeesh, I don't know. We'll see. But we'll move on here to the next topic here. And the next topic that we're going to move on to is just, you know, kind of going over the Kang. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull that up. The Quantumania trailer that came out last night from after the football game. So I'm going to pull that up here so we can all see that one more time. Okay, so I've got this pulled up here. This is the, I don't think you guys can see that yet, though. You'll pause it, too. One second. Okay. All right, like I said earlier when we were kind of talking about this, the Kang that we see is likely going to be the Kang that we see in Secret Wars. Like the Kang that we're going to see in Quantumania is going to be the Kang in Secret Wars. I also believe that, you know, what Jonathan Majors has said, he is going to be a warrior version of Kang. We kind of see that warrior in him when he's kicking Scott's ass during the trailer. So there's a lot of crazy things going on, you know, with people talking about the film, people talking about the trailer. We also know that Jeff Loveness is going to be one of the things. Jeff Loveness is one of the things that people are out there talking about. And Jeff Loveness, as everybody may know, Jeff Loveness came over with Jessica Gao. He came over with Michael Waldron from the Rick and Morty group. Now you can X Jessica Gao out of that because I'm sorry, I don't think she needs to be touching anything else in Marvel. But Waldron, as we know, he's writing Secret Wars, and we know that Jeff Loveness he is writing Kang Dynasty. So we're going to be seeing him writing on Kang Dynasty, but he also wrote Quantumania. So a lot of people have been saying, you know, that this is one of those things where we're going to see what we're kind of going to get a preview of maybe what Kang Dynasty is somewhat going to look like. Right. You know, I even saw some people saying like they didn't really care too much for the trailer because Ant-Man is supposed to be humorous. Ant-Man is supposed to be funny, and there at no point did Scott, you know, in the second trailer say or do anything humorous. And I'm like, again, I don't want that shit. Yeah. And the reason I don't want to see, you know, him being humorous when in a film that's supposed to set the tone for your big bad, a film that's supposed to, you know, get us back invested in the MCU. I don't need Scott cracking jokes in the trailer because that's not putting asses in the seat. Yeah. What puts asses in the seats is when you see Kang beating the shit out of Scott and you're like, who is this? Yeah. You see Kang doing that last move at the end where that energy blast he gave because that was the money shot of the entire trailer. But when you see that, it's beautiful. Beautiful. So no, if you need to see Paul Rudd being funny, I think he has comedy, like stand-up things he's done. Go watch that, or go watch some of the other Ant-Man films, or watch him ask for orange slices in Endgame. But in a film like Quantumania that's supposed to be setting up the tone for Phase 5, setting up being, like I said last night, we need to be fearful of Kang. I don't need Scott making jokes. Now, if he's making jokes, you know, at the beginning, like there, because as we even saw, like in the trailer, like you know, thank you, Spider-Man. Like the guy told him, you know, calling him Spider-Man. We even saw him make a funny joke, I think, in the first trailer. But as the film moves into what we see when Janet tells Cassie, "You're sending a message to the quantum realm," from there, tone. tone.
Total shift. I couldn't agree more.
So I don't get why everybody's saying some of the things like that about the whole. He didn't make a joke. Well, you didn't understand the assignment then, because there was a reason he didn't make a joke. He's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah. Honestly, he's the right guy to have funny guy who's usually funny. Have him be funny at first,
right,
and then immediately turn into something different.
Yep.
Because that really shows, more so than if it was like Kang was up against an already serious type character.
Right.
Yeah. I think that shift will be important.
I think it'll be important too, and I think Scott is honestly one of the right, if not the right person. I know a lot of people have been saying, what is Ant-Man going to do against Kang? I don't really think that's the point, though. I think the point of it is you're seeing Scott in his element, because not only that, Scott had so much taken, like a lot of them did, not just Scott. Scott had so much, he didn't get to see his daughter grow up like he wanted to, and things like that. He missed out on all that time that he spent in the quantum realm. But not only that, Scott understands time travel because, to a degree, because they did have to go to Tony in Endgame, and he tried to explain it in the way of Back to the Future, but he understands the quantum realm at least. Right. He's been there, he's spent time there, he understands how the Pym particles work and everything like that. So I think him going up against him, and like you said, the funny guy who's normally funny but now brought down to his knees, and now we're seeing also Scott's putting his trust in Kang. You hear him say in the trailer, we had a deal. You also hear him say in the trailer, I don't care who this guy is, he can help us get back what we've lost. So it's like, the tone, like we said, it's just got to be a completely different tone, in my opinion. But like I said earlier, at the moment, we do know that they are doing reshoots. What those reshoots are, not sure. It could be little small things. We saw the set photo leak of Scott with the pizza box that looked like walking across the street. Again, nothing major stuff. Don't really know exactly what it's for. Maybe it's just little tinkering things. Not sure. But they are doing reshoots right now. And also, so John Campea said, I think yesterday, or maybe on Twitter. I don't know if it was on a show on Twitter. I can't remember. But says that he's pulling a No Way Home. Remember during the days of No Way Home, he released or accidentally released the picture of Toby, Tom, and Andrew. That's where we all knew, okay, they're in the movie, because John Campea released the footage, or the pictures, where he never mind, I'm not even gonna say that part. But he, but then he said he had another picture that we later found out was the She-Hulk pictures, that then we instantly didn't care anymore. But he said that he had those pictures from that show. Now he's saying he has seen pictures for the end of Quantumania, and they are characters that they've linked his statement to the reshoots. So whatever reshoots are happening, I guess whatever pictures he's seeing, it's having to do with the reshoots. And he said he's shocked by the characters, I guess, who it is that's being done in these reshoots. Some people have said that he's even indicated or hinted at the Fantastic Four, although I didn't see anything where John indicated or hinted at the Fantastic Four, and I don't think John would have indicated anything. I am saying the same person that literally uploaded the pictures of No Way Home. So
that's funny. I didn't know those came from John.
Yeah, those came from John. So I don't know. That is on par with the leaks and rumors we've been talking about with the Fantastic Four. And are they going to be in, Quantumania? Are we actually? Is that leaked post-credit scene true where Hank walks up and he recognizes Reed because they're from the 60s and displaced and everything like that? I don't know because I also don't know if even any of that shit is true, because from what we've heard about them, it might be, bro, because it kind of lines up still with the leak for the Fantastic Four and them getting trapped in the quantum realm. I don't know, but so it's yet to be seen. But if the Fantastic Four is what John is seeing, if he's seeing anything, then it's on par with what we've heard, and I would love for it to be because I've said I think that Marvel introduces them before their film. I don't know. There's so much going on that you would have to,
especially because they've already confirmed they're not doing like an origin story.
Right.
So introduce them, show them to us who they are, and then we get into a movie where they're already the Fantastic Four.
Right. I agree. I agree. Well, this is coming from. This is the trailer here.
Scott
okay,
Lang.
you can't hear it. Can you hear it through here?
You're an Avenger. You have a daughter. But you've lost a lot of time. Like me. We can help each other with that.
You know, you got. So you got Kang obviously saying, you know, you've lost a lot of time, and we can help each other with that. You know, blah 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 blah. Manipulating Scott.
I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time.
You know, to give you that time.
It can rewrite existence
This part right here.
and shatter timelines.
That part right there. Okay, where Janet Van Dyne says he can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. So I'm wondering, because again, the leak that I saw months ago. Now again, I want to make sure I keep saying that I have not seen anything since then connecting Wanda to Kang. No one else has said anything about that, and that was months ago. But the only person that can rewrite existence currently in the MCU is Wanda.
Correct. Yeah.
And the leak that I saw months ago connected Wanda to Kang, to where Kang was going to be using Wanda. He was going to do kind of the same thing. I think, didn't you just say that? Something about manipulate? He's going to manipulate her and use Wanda in a way as a weapon also. But again, I've not seen anything since then. So you can take that if you want. You can leave it there if you would like also. Right. I mean, I haven't heard anything
just
since.
It out there.
Right. But that part is interesting to me because, you know, he can rewrite existence and shatter timelines, like shattering timelines. Like, so we would have to see, because right now in the MCU, we would have to see some type of, kind of like I was saying last night, they need to show us something in flashbacks, or maybe something in the, I don't know if that's even something you would do in the Nathaniel Richards special, if that's real.
Right.
But you would have to show us something where we're seeing Kang developing the power to shatter timelines, because that's not just, because if you're shattering timelines, he would have to take things and make them, like, to be able to just recreate create a timeline, not just, and I'm not talking like in the way the TVA does it. I'm talking like because in the trailer, you know, the spawning of the variants of, because we read the leak, and the leak was on par with what we read, or with what we watched. Like, it was, honestly, no, it wasn't on par. It was word for fucking word.
Yeah.
For what I read before we watched the trailer. They were calling them variants in the leak. They were saying the variant Ant-Men that are showing up in this. So is he able to just is he plucking motherfuckers out of their realities? Is like, are those other Ant-Mens he's plucked, or is he able to just spawn them by just creating timelines like that? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. But we did see him as the head of the TVA in Loki. The old, what did they call the original version of Kang that we first met?
He Who Remains.
He Who Remains. And then we saw at the end of Loki, we saw that there were statues of this version of Kang, or not this one, because this one's trapped in the quantum world, but some other version of Kang where he is Kang.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, maybe it ties into the fact that, like, because like you were saying, the TVA does do that with timelines. Is it he's the head of the TVA, so he's able to do it?
And I would assume
that way?
I would assume so. I would assume this is the Kang that the TVA is currently, you know, worshiping at his feet. I would assume this is. I'm assuming this is that Kang.
Yeah.
Because from my understanding, also from what we heard in the leak, Kang's involvement in Loki season 2 is pretty much non-existent.
Okay, so he's not there.
Yeah, it's.
So that would make sense. That would.
Yeah, it's Sylvie is going to be an older Sylvie is going to be the villain in Loki season 2, and originally we heard something about Victor Timely, a variant of Kang, being in it, but haven't heard anything about that in a while either. So, you know, I'm not. It could be. This could be that Kang as well. But I can kind of. Nah, I still can't. I was gonna say I can kind of see where they're going with the Beyonder stuff when you kind of moved onto it, but no, I still can't. I'll move this for like right there. See,
Yeah.
like I'm saying that part. That's the part I'm talking about.
Yeah, because that was like
It can rewrite existence.
he just spawned out of it.
Yeah, he
and
did.
shatter
That's what I'm saying.
timelines.
Yeah.
So like, and then you see a multiple of them when they're
You
like.
cannot trust him.
I don't care who this guy.
Now let's talk about this real quick before we even get to that shit. Let's talk about this shit.
MODOK.
Yes.
And shatter
Yeah, it looked
timelines.
good. When he has
You
like
cannot
the mask
trust
on.
him.
Yeah, with the
care who
mask
this
But
guy
on.
is.
without the mask
They
on,
oh damn, I keep missing that shit. They need to fix that.
yeah,
They need to fix that shit now.
yeah.
I
That's
hope
some
with-
like Eternals
Yeah.
post-credit scene shit. Right
Yeah,
there. Like,
I'm hoping with whatever touch-ups they're doing, touch that shit up
yeah.
because that looks awful.
That looks so bad, and it's only like a couple seconds.
Yeah, that and I'm
Or not
cringing
even a
at
couple
seeing
seconds.
him head on like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like full screen like that because
It looks like Photoshop.
it does. I think it was Stevie last night that said very George Lopez Spy Kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was Stevie that said that last night. And so I'm
Yes.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, bro. Now when he had the mask on, like you said, and he had his
Yeah.
arms out, it looks
Yeah, it
cool.
looked
He looks
good.
cool.
Yeah.
This,
No.
that ain't it.
And who is that?
That's
Playing him.
That's Corey's Scroll playing him. Well, that's the character's name. Let me see. What is his real name? The dude that plays Yellow Jacket in the first film.
Oh, okay. See, because I was thinking that it looked like him. Yeah, from like House of Cards and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that is.
I was
him.
thinking it looked like him, just like his face is much wider. So what? Did he get sent down to the quantum realm and become MODOK?
No, that's his real name. Yeah, he got sent down to the Corey Stoll. He got sent down to the quantum realm. You know, that's at the end of the film. That's where he was, you know, crunched all up, got sent there. Kang finds him, from what we hear in the leak. Kang finds him, puts him together, you know, fixes him
Okay.
all up, and now he's loyal to Kang, but we're going to see him turn against Kang. And MODOK, I believe, MODOK and Cassie, I believe, are the only two that make it out the quantum realm at the end of this film.
Yeah, you were saying that was the rumor.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what's going
Yeah,
on.
they better do something about that for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on there. They gotta fix that though. That's not good.
I just lost so much. He can give us a second chance. Let me make this easy for you. You will bring me what I need. Or
Right there. Okay, wait. Was it right there?
you call a life will end.
And let's just acknowledge really quick how beautiful that picture is.
Yeah.
That shit right there. That's beautiful.
Yes. The stance, the cape.
That is beautiful. He looks great.
This is all my fault.
See, like that.
Yeah. all
Because the
those
reason I say, yeah, all the Ant-Man right there, like, but look at the big one. Where have we seen this? We've already seen it in Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
It looks like he's getting, you know, Mr. Fantastic spaghetti.
yes.
That's what it
Yeah.
looks like. So I don't know if that's like Marvel trying to send a message via imagery, via, you know, like I don't know. And I'm saying that because you have Janet saying he can rewrite existence. The only person that can do that in the MCU right now is Wanda.
Right.
So if we're seeing that happen to him, maybe it could just be a deal where he's just falling apart like that. I could be making a big deal out of nothing. But if they're all trying to get out or wherever the fuck they are right now, wherever, you know, and Kang's trying to stop them, he could be doing like Wanda and rewriting existence.
Right.
You know? So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting the first time I saw it and watched it.
You may not want her to watch this. We had a deal.
this. Yeah, MODOK
So
looks
he
good there.
there.
MODOK looks good there.
I dig that.
Yeah, yeah, I like him right there.
You thought you could win.
Does Wasp say anything in this movie?
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose.
See, that's the part I'm saying right there. Okay, so you see all these Ant-Men like forming doing ant shit and forming like a
Yeah.
and I'm assuming this is either Kang's chair or has something, because this is definitely something to do with the rings, because look at the markings here.
Yeah.
Something to do with the rings,
saw
the
spinning
bangles,
earlier.
yeah, even the Eternals.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm assuming Kang's got to be somewhere up here, and they are trying to. This is where I'm assuming they're all going to still, like when Scott says, "I don't have to beat you," or whatever he just said, we just both have to lose.
Yeah.
Maybe them both losing isn't him ensuring that Kang stays in the quantum realm, and he has to maybe stay there too. I don't know, but we do know, like I said, they are staying. Like Cassie and MODOK are the only two that bounce.
Yeah.
And then we see, from the rumor, again, we see Wasp, Fantastic Four, Ant-Man chasing Kang out of the quantum realm into Kang Dynasty.
I'm sorry, Cassie.
I love that. I just want to point that out there. This is brilliant. I want to give it to... I'm going to give credit where it's fucking due. This is brilliant. The way that they have him on the little hoverboards here and he just glides off that shit, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. And then man. That last part, bro.
It's also cool. This is like the second
I'm sorry, Cassie.
Right.
Multiverse of Madness.
But I wonder if they're going to play on that. I wonder if they're ever going to play on that. But no, that last scene obviously is the money shot there. It's beautiful seeing Kang, and I want to see, and obviously, so if we're seeing him like here, like let me go forward just a little bit. We're seeing Kang here doing the energy blast that he does. That's so sick. Just stepping off that, doing the energy blast that he does. So I'd imagine he obviously does not have the powers of the Beyonder right now. I would imagine this is going to have to be amplified, bro. If he's doing that like this now, with the powers of the Beyonder, and maybe they even change the color, maybe even with the blast, I don't know.
Right.
But, and that's just,
Because at that point, it's not just like his technology.
It's
the powers of the Beyonder.
Yeah, so it's like
the cosmic cube.
Exactly. So I'm wondering if not wondering, it just is gonna have to be, if his powers like this here, when he has the powers of the Beyonder. Yeah, I thought that this part was pretty dope.
I also really like the way they went about the mask.
I did too.
I think that it was because I was kind of questioning how they were going to pull it off, because some looks aren't the easiest to rip out of comic books and to do live action.
Right.
I was curious how they were going to go about it, and I'm happy with how he looks. Honestly,
right.
I think he looks pretty dope.
The glow is menacing.
Yes.
In the face, and I love when he lets the mask down, his face is kind of still blue and his eyes are blue until he completely, until it fades. I think that's dope too. But this part, I just think that the hoverboard, that's dope, bro. How he just glides off that shit. And they've got to make it to where his technology and the shit that Kang has is vastly superior to anything anyone in our universe has ever seen.
Yes.
I'm trying to get to that one spot of him jumping there. He looks dope there too. You can't. I also want to give credit on the costume. They did a really good job with this costume.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just some things going on there in Quantum in that trailer there. But I will show this also. This is what they had to say about it, about Ant-Man, and this is coming from the direct. Also, it says Marvel producer Stephen Broussard recently compared Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania to 2016's Captain America: Civil War ahead of the Ant-Man 3 release. Ant-Man 3 will be the first movie of the MCU Phase 5 slate, giving Scott Lang his third solo movie, and he comes face to face with the multiversal saga's big bad Kang the Conqueror. This will make the Ant-Man franchise the fifth in the MCU to become at least a trilogy, and considering that it will serve as a direct setup to 2025's Avengers Kang Dynasty, its impact could be as big as any in the MCU upcoming set of movies. As fans have seen in the MCU for other third movies from solo franchises, the stakes are usually raised to insanely high levels. Iron Man 3 saw Tony Stark end his time as a superhero for a while, and later Thor Ragnarok saw the destruction of Asgard as the God of Thunder defeated Hela before Thanos started his reign of terror. Now, thanks to Ant-Man 3's recent press release, one of Marvel's top producers teased that this new movie could be as impactful as another movie from Phase 3 that also starred the Shrinking Avenger. He goes on to say, coming from the official press release for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Marvel Studios VP of Production and Development, Stephen Broussard, discussed the consequences that are set to become real in the MCU's next movie. One of the core beliefs that he highlighted for Marvel Studios is to just go back to character, with this movie largely focusing on a father and his daughter reconnecting, even with everything happening in the quantum realm. Then he goes on to say, one of our philosophies that we've always applied at the studio is just to go back to character and to root it in character. And the science fiction and the world building is fun, but ultimately it's window dressing to the characters who are on this journey. I think as long as we never forget that this is a story about a father and his daughter reconnecting, which essentially is what this film is, then the headlines of the multiverse, the headlines of the quantum realm sort itself out, because you only need to understand it's a father and daughter story. Well, not really.
There's some other shit that's going to be happening.
Yeah, no, I disagree with that, Broadstart. I do disagree with that one. No, and the reason I say no to that is because I saw Official EMG say this in the chat a while ago. He said, we are excited for Quantum Mania, but the average fan may not really know, so when you're saying it's a father and daughter, people are sick of going to these don't get me wrong, I need the Marvel films to have stakes like that, as far as we saw it in Steve and Bucky's relationship. It caused Steve to do some things that we didn't think we would see Captain America do. Obviously, we know, if you read comics, Cap is not no Boy Scout like that all the time. Yeah. So it's but we saw that. We saw it in Tony and Steve's relationship. We saw it in Peter. We saw it in Peter and Tony's relationship. It got emotional when Peter told, who he thought he was only talking to a suit, when he said, if you cared, you'd be here. And then Tony steps out and he said, whatever he said to him, appreciate it. Thank you for the subscription. When Tony told him, what did he say? That's the thing. What's the line?
When he stepped out of the suit,
he said, if you don't know enough to something about the suit, you guys know the line, the meaningful line that he gave to Peter. We saw it in those relationships. So we see relationships. We see these characters go through deep things like that, But I would say we want to get back to Marvel films and having fun.
Yes.
We want to get back in the films, and yes, we can be,
If you're nothing without the suit, you shouldn't have it.
Yes, if you're nothing without the suit, you shouldn't have it. That's exactly right. So, we should be having fun in these films. Yes, you can, we can have our hit us on the heartstrings like Guardians of the Galaxy is going to do, but ultimately Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm sure it's going to be fun at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like outside of No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, I had fun in Multiverse of Madness. Mm-hmm. I hated Thor: Love and Thunder, but you might have had fun. You might have loved it. Mm-hmm. We need to get back to sitting down in the theater and being amped for, you know, the films and things like that. And the average fan needs to be able to feel that going into Quantum Mania. So I did see that, and that is a concern that a lot of other people, I've not just seen that here in the chat, but I've seen that in general, that, you know, we as the comic book sweaty fans and the hardcore MCU fans we are, yes, we're excited, but not too sure that is it going to hit home for everybody else like that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a conversation for sure. But those are some of the things going on there with what they just said there about how it's going to be impactful, and we already know that it has to be impactful. It's feeding into Kang Dynasty, and not only that, it is setting the tone for Phase 5. So, you know, but as always, most of you guys were here with me last night, so you guys watched the trailer. But, you know, if you know, let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about some of the things in the trailer. What are you thinking about Kang? You know, is Kang everything that you're wanting him to be so far from what you've seen? Hopefully, you know, it's not. I've seen, you know, people being concerned about, oh, Kang's only going to have 15-20 minutes. I just don't think so. And if he is, but I just don't think so.
Is that a rumor?
That's not a rumor coming out from anywhere. It's just people's trepidation about, you know, Marvel. I don't know. So, but, you know, let me know down below in the comments. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking is going to be going on, even more so with Kang. Or you think we're going to see Kang be Kang? Is this the Kang we're going to see in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars moving forward? And all those things. What is the chat saying?
Let's see. Dougie Fresh says, I'm a little concerned with how they're going to handle Kang's power level. You don't really get points for beating up Ant-Man. He's looking a little bit battle damaged in the trailer, which is concerning. We'll have to see the execution. Yeah, they do have him like scarred and stuff. But I think that's showing him as that warrior Kang. That,
are you talking about the scars that are here?
Yeah.
Yeah, those scars are definitely not from Ant-Man.
No.
Actually, it's also,
they
you
look
know,
old, like he's been through battles. You know?
And they tried to keep it on par with the comic look of him, because even in the comic look, he's got the lines that you know, go down.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You're right on that. Let's see. Gray said Kang looking like he just won a Mortal Kombat match with that money shot. We also have great. Raptor Cloak agreeing and saying Kang's energy blast is so addictive.
Yeah, bro, it's dope. That's the part I can't stop watching. It's dope.
Official MG, I think comic fans and MCU fans are loving this, but the general... Oh, is this the one you read earlier? I think, but yeah, basically the general movie going. So we talked about that. Raymond said, so when Ant-Man 3 ends, that's the beginning of Avengers Kang Dynasty, like Thor Ragnarok ended right when Infinity War began. I thought that was an interesting theory. That's why Disney is screwing with John. Because he released those pictures. But yeah, that's the sense I get, and yeah, I like the comparison to.
Ragnarok and Infinity War. Yeah, that could be something that is definitely done. Like I said, the rumor is they are supposed to be chasing Kang out with the Fantastic Four into Kang Dynasty. So that's definitely something that could be done.
Let's see. CGZ says, when Scott said we had a deal, he may have been speaking to another person other than Kang.
He could have been talking to, you know, that is misdirection from Marvel. Marvel's really good at that shit.
Known to do that.
They're really good at that shit. He could have been, but you know, let's take it back to what Scott also said. I don't care who this guy is. He can help us get back, you know, the time we lost.
And in the first trailer, Kang says, like, reaches his hand out and says, "So do we have a deal?"
Yeah, I love the face Jonathan Majors makes right there when he goes, "So do we have a deal, Ant-Man?" It's like he looks at Ant-Man like the way he says Ant-Man. It's like, you know, like it's kind of like how Peter said, "Oh, we're using our made-up names."
Yes,
it's because he was like Ant-Man, like you know, like I don't give a fuck what your name is.
Like I don't. He kind of says it like you don't really have a choice.
Yeah. I love the way he says it. Like Jonathan Majors, bro.
He's about to kill this shit.
He is.
I agree with you. This is going to be the year of Jonathan Majors.
It is. I mean, because right after this, I mean, in February, doesn't Creed come out in February?
I believe February.
So he's kicking ass in 2 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, bro. Nah, it's his year.
It's his year. Let's see. Cleve17 says, I think Kang's daughter is going to play a part in this as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know much about his daughter. Grand Regent Thrag said they need to get Kang to rewrite Wakanda Forever and erase T'Challa dying. And TJ, please.
Yeah, let him rewrite that existence.
That's funny.
Pert Minded said, I think it's a misdirect and whatever he's looking for gives him the capability of shattering timeline and whatnot.
Wait, say it one more time.
He said, I think it's a misdirect and whatever he's looking for gives him the capability of shattering timelines and whatnot.
I like that too. That could possibly be a thing too. You know,
Because she could be telling him not that he does have those powers, but like what she knows
Right.
is what he's looking for.
because
And
she
if
did
we
spend the
help
time with
get
him.
it, then
Yeah,
he's going to have those capabilities. That's a possibility.
Yeah, that is a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
Grand Regent Thrag said, yo, what if they do something where they make Doom a descendant of Kang? That is something that the MCU does sometimes where they
and that's
change
such a
it. They could change
confusing
it.
thing in the MCU, or not just the MCU. I mean, I'm sorry, that's such a confusing thing in Marvel Comics because, you know, you have the whole. Is Doom related to Reed or not Reed? Kang.
Kang.
But we know Kang's related to Reed. Mm-hmm. So are they all three? You know, that's that whole conversation. But
Yeah.
I think that I would like for them to make him a descendant of Reed personally.
I would.
I really would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe though with Doom, maybe if they don't do it with Reed,
I would see them doing it more with Reed if they're going to do it at all.
Andre Ware said that Angela Bassett just won a Golden Globe for Wakanda Forever. And I know you and I were saying, you know, despite how we feel about the movie, we thought her performance
Yeah.
was really powerful in that.
It
So
was.
that's cool to see. That was Andre Ware telling us that. Raymond says MODOK looked like SpongeBob's grandmother with the cookie head.
Yeah. See. Yeah. He looked.
terrible.
I remember that.
I see.
episode.
Nerds Only said, would you guys consider doing collaboration with other upcoming channels who love theorizing about stuff like this together for videos? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course we would. The easiest way to
Get in contact with me on something like that is going to be through Twitter. If you DM me through Twitter, or if you join the Discord, you don't have to join the Discord, I think, to personally message me, but you can personally message me on Discord if you want.
So either one of those would be the easiest way to get in contact with me, so to set something up like that. I appreciate
That'd
that.
be cool.
Appreciate
Yeah.
Even thinking about wanting to do something like that with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, any collaborations that you have done have been pretty dope, I've thought. Cleve17 said, I read everyone does make it out, except for 2 we see fighting, and they both get stuck. Did you guys hear this?
Wait, Cleve17, he said he heard everyone does make it out?
Except for 2, which kind of ties into what you were saying, like, we hear Scott saying, like, I don't have to beat you, we just both have to lose.
Right.
And so he's saying that he had read that the rumors everybody gets out except for 2. So my assumption would be that would be if that is the case, that is Ant-Man and Kang being stuck in there, and basically Ant-Man trapping himself to also in turn trap Kang.
It could be. You know, like I said, one of the things. These things change all the time, so it could be one of those things where it's been changed, or the leak has changed, or anything like that. The leak I saw just said that Cassie MODOK made it out, and Cassie, at the end of the film, we see her tinkering with a way to either get back in the quantum realm or something with the quantum realm to get, her dad and everyone out. To where whatever she sees, she gasps in fear, and the screen goes black. Then in the post-credit scene, it's Hank and everyone still in the quantum realm, in some prison area or whatever, and Q, Mr. Fantastic, in prison.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it's supposed to be.
That's the introduction.
That's what we've heard. But
and just Mr. Fantastic?
It's all of them. But,
okay.
But Hank recognizes
Right.
Reed.
Them
Yeah.
both being scientists and from
Yeah.
that time period. Makes sense. I don't know. Honestly, throughout these trailers, the leaks make sense with what we're seeing, but you never know.
Right.
The Jinx says maybe Kang has his own version of the Infinity Gems. Thanks did a similar stringy attack on Mantis in Infinity War. Oh, Thanos.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did, and then he like cubed up
Drax.
Drax, yeah. Could be. And I mean that's where Wanda's powers come from too, right? So.
Yeah.
D. Stiesel says Marvel won't do this, but it would be cool to see Jarella in Microverse Quantum Realm.
I doubt it. They're not.
Yeah.
Marvel, yeah, they're not even doing. They have their own agenda. They have their own agenda with their own stories, their own characters they want to put in these stories. You know,
Yeah.
So.
D. Stiesel says, man, I'm in shake my head mode whenever I hear Kang becoming the Beyonder. Honestly, I'm there too. I don't like. Just bring in the Beyonder.
Yeah. When
Just
My
bring
Time to
it
Shine
in.
Hello tweeted it, I quote tweeted it and said, because I'm like, what? Why? It never made sense.
Let's see. Sir Yuri G says, yeah, the comic accuracy in Kang's costume is top notch.
Top notch. He looks
Agree.
great. He looks so damn good.
Grand Regent Thrag, Kang, Thanos, Doom, and Apocalypse are literally Marvel's best villains. Magneto also, if you consider him a villain. Majors looks like he really brings it as Kang. Hope Marvel doesn't mess this up.
Yeah. No, he looks great, and I think he's really going to bring it as Kang. Jonathan Majors has
Yeah, I do too.
recently said in an interview he wants Kang to fight Thor. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. D. Stiesel, don't like that Fantastic Four introduction rumor. Having them simply be lost in space would work just as well. They are explorers after all.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
could. I'm kind of skip down to the bottom so we can get.
You know,
going.
something like I said last night about Kang. We need to be seeing Kang conquer other universes. Whether that be in the Nathaniel special, whether that be at the beginning of Kang Dynasty and some flashbacks or something, I don't really care. But we need to see him be a conqueror, not like we saw Gore be a god butcher.
Right,
We need
right.
to see
Yes.
Kang being a conqueror.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to see it when somebody pulls it up on a screen. It's like, oh, he did that to that. No, I want to see Kang,
Yeah.
bro. Hold on, because I talked about this last night. Hold on.
Like, if we're watching Kang in other universes do shit to people, hold on, let me pull this up.
I don't want to hear Kang talk about what he did. I don't want, like we heard of, he talked about the multiversal war. That's fine. That's cool. We don't have time to show us all of that.
Right.
But you better find the time to show us. I want to see him taking the Avengers down.
Yeah.
And from other universes.
Yeah.
I want to see,
Where's that other picture? I want to see him dragging.
There's another one. I want to see him with a cap from another universe in his arms.
Right.
Like,
Bro, I don't like what and what does he say here? Unless the
no, I don't. And I think this is from Children's Crusade. So it's like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't need to see somebody pull it up in a glimpse like Gore the God Butcher. I want to see Kang being a conqueror, kicking Avengers' asses from other universes. And I think that's, if you're going to, again, establish Kang, you've got to do that, bro. Like,
just my opinion. I think that would be something that would really.
The example I always use. When Thanos first shows up, he beats the shit out of Thor.
Yes.
Or Thor. Hulk.
Hulk, yeah.
That established, damn, he did that to the Hulk. And he didn't have any stones.
No.
He had no stones.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of the Hulk. Boom. Hulk didn't want to come out the rest of the fucking movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That set the tone for Thanos.
100%.
this has to set the tone, bro. It
Yeah.
has to set the tone.
I agree. Yeah, because we already saw, like, he's like, oh, you're an Avenger? Have I killed you? Like,
Yeah.
I agree. We need to get,
Yes,
like,
yes.
a throwback, like, montage, like, see him doing some of that shit. Maybe even, like, Ant-Man's kind of trepidatious, and he's like, and then he just plays for him, like,
Right.
showing him fucking up his boys. Maybe even him killing versions of him. Like, yeah, I agree. That would set the tone.
Yeah, I need to see it.
That'd be nice to see. Blues House says, who are the 4 masked people with Kang? I was thinking maybe they are the Fantastic Four.
They are a part of Kang's army. So Kang's army, I don't know if there's a picture of Kang's army up, but let me see if I can pull that up. You can go ahead to the next one.
Okay. Sir Yuri G, I'm wondering if Kang gets to interact with Ravonna in the MCU.
We better see that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, within the comics they have that romantic relationship, or he has that thing for Ravonna. She has a thing for him too, but you know, she knew in Loki season 1 what the fuck was going on. She knew that the Timekeepers were not real. She knew.
Right.
Well, she knew certain things. She knew certain things because remember, whenever Miss Minutes. She had asked Miss Minutes a question or something. Damn, that was a minute ago, bro. Was that 2 years ago? Was Loki 2 years ago?
Damn near.
What did she say when she was leaving? In search of destiny, in search of... Forgot what she said, bro. It's been a minute. I've seen a lot of shit since then. But
Yeah.
I would say we would have to see them connecting or interacting with each other in the MCU for sure.
Yeah.
Trying to find a picture of his army that's not like the wide shot of them.
Mr. Among Us just popped in here. Good to see you in here.
Appreciate you being here.
Let's see. Cleve17 says, what I read was that the Wasp's wife dipped on Kang before she came back because he was going to destroy reality with trying to save his daughter, and your boy MODOK pushes Scott back to the realm.
Say that one more time.
He said, what I read was that the Wasp's wife dipped on Kang. I'm not sure what that means. Before she came back because he was going to destroy reality with trying to save his daughter, and your boy MODOK pushes Scott back to the realm.
Maybe.
That one I hadn't heard.
I haven't heard that one, but maybe.
Let's
Maybe
see.
these leaks could be real.
Yeah. Sir Yuri G was confirming that, yeah, that's Children's Crusade, saying how much he loves that panel.
Yeah, me too. I love it.
Let's see. D. Steezel, Avengers Forever is one of my favorite storylines with Kang.
Avengers Forever is being adapted into Secret Wars, so it's gonna be one of the ones. I could be getting those mixed up. I don't think it's Kang Dynasty. No, I think it is Kang Dynasty. Avengers Forever is being adapted into Kang Dynasty.
Okay.
Yes.
That would make sense.
So we're gonna see, but also Children's Crusade is also being adapted into Kang Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not outside. We've seen them adapt several comics into. I mean,
Right.
look at the Batman film. Although that be at DC, they adapted The Long Halloween. They adapted Year One. They adapted. Shit, it's been a minute since that one too. There was some more. There's some others they adapted though from that one.
Yeah. I mean, even WandaVision adapted from a couple different storylines too, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Dan the Man says that he doesn't think we're getting any flashbacks of Kang clapping Avengers in this film.
Wait, where are you?
I'm down toward the bottom now.
Okay.
Then after that, it looks like they're just kind of talking to each other.
Okay. We addressed Mr. Am I saying that right? Mr. Agnes?
Mr. Among Us.
Among Us.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was saying that he just
Okay,
came
cool,
in
cool,
and
cool.
saying we're glad to see him in here.
Appreciate it. So Yuri G said again, what the fuck is Sam Wilson going to do against him? Hey, Hey, we can talk about it. Dan the Man said, bro took me all the way out the game. Just scroll past all my comments. Oh, no.
Who'd I scroll past?
Dan. I know he's, let's see. I see Blue House tagged us in one that said, made it to a live finally. What's up, Planet Fanatics? What's up, bro? But we did answer one of Blue House's. Let's see. Dan the Man said, no way this movie ends with MODOK still in the quantum realm. He's getting out with Kang for the Dynasty. It's a wrap for Scott and Hope, though.
Does she talk in this film?
I haven't heard anything in the
I
trailers.
don't remember her saying. I think she might have said something in the first one. I think she asked Janet, "What are you afraid of?" I want to say that's the only time I've heard Evangeline Lilly's voice this entire. And I know the movie's called Ant-Man and the Wasp. Where the fuck is she at?
Yeah.
She's not. I don't know.
She's not in it very much in these trailers, that's for sure.
Yeah. I've not seen her a lot.
Yeah, it is an Ant-Man and the Wasp film.
He also said, need the original recipe X-Men to pop up on Krakoa. Forget the mansion. Bump the mutants living in fear storyline. Make it all mutants for humans or bust.
And I'm not even sure what the fuck they're going to do with the... Well, actually, we're going to get to that. Because Lime Moore answered that for me. So
we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
We will indeed.
Blues House said she's in it a lot.
She's in it. But she's not saying anything. I'm just like... I mean, but then again, maybe the next question could be, well, why the fuck do we need to hear Hope's voice during, the trailers? But... So maybe I digress. I don't know.
Maybe we'll just watch the movie and it'll just be normal and it's just... She didn't have many lines in the trailer. I don't know.
Yeah. Then Sir Yuji, last one said, but the other thing we all got to point out, with the introduction of Kang, we got to hope we're getting young Kang / Iron Lad. So more Young Avengers speculation there, folks. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got the Young Avengers rumored to be established or to be beginning in Vision Quest with his daughter Viv showing up. We also got Agatha, Coven of Chaos. We've got Billy Kaplan, Wiccan, who is going to be showing up. And we've also heard there's going to be adapting Children's Crusade. We know King's Dynasty is adapting Children's Crusade. So if you're building them up until that time, they could be one of the teams that helps take down. Or I wouldn't. Maybe they're not even established by that time, but they're there. You know what I'm saying? They're not the Young Avengers. They may be. They may be if they're trying to adapt that Children's Crusade storyline in there, and you bring in your, Iron Lad, that younger version of King, because we need to see multiple versions of this man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we definitely need multiple groups to take him out. We need Fantastic Four. We need the X-Men. We need the Avengers. We need Young Avengers.
Yeah.
We need the
Eternals.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. It's going to take everybody.
Yeah, it's going to take everybody.
Especially once there's multiple Kangs.
Diesel said Cassie got those lines. Oh, yeah, she definitely does. Dan the Man said, uses to want Adam Driver for Doom, but I'm warming up to him being Reed. Honestly, this picture is what makes me say...
I kind of mentioned this last night. I said if Adam Driver pulls his hair back, because there's moments in the comics where Reed's hair ain't long like Adam Driver's, but there's moments in the comics where his hair is longer and he has it like tucked behind his ears.
Right.
So like this picture here of Driver
in House of
Gucci, of course it's going to do that to this picture. Let me see. This picture here of Driver in House of Gucci, I was like, okay, that's I could see him as Reed there. And this picture here, am I wrong? Do you guys not see him as Reed in this? Could you see him as Reed? Let me ask that question. Not do you. Could you see him as Reed from this picture? Or is it just me? I think that in this picture, I think he does kind of look like Reed. You can see, like I said, the hair, it's not that hair. It's not long like that.
I can see it. I just think
Raymond
he's a
says
better
no.
fit for Doom.
I definitely still think he's a better fit for Doom. I'm just trying to prep myself for the reality that is Marvel, that is the MCU, and that he's more than likely going to be their Reed Richards.
Welcome to the chat, Marvelized D. Good to see you in here.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I'm gonna play with what the MCU's doing, I could see him as I see the look there, but again, I stick with my original statement from what I said yesterday about Adam Driver. He's not my choice, if a choice at all, to be. I think when we originally talked about the original rumor, I think I said why. I said he needed to be Doom, if anything. Yes. But again, I'm just prepping everyone for the decision that Marvel has already made, and I don't want him to be, but I'm guaranteeing you, Adam Driver is Reed Richards.
Really? You feel confident?
I really feel confident in it. I really do. His name has come up now 3 times in talking about it. Outside of the dude from Lucifer, who we've only heard about the once, Penn Bagley, we only heard about the once. John Krasinski said he hasn't talked to Marvel since, but that's lies. He'll be in Secret Wars somewhere.
Yeah.
Who were the others? Yeah, no, I'm telling you. I think they've already made this decision.
Yeah.
I do. I think that they've already made this decision.
But yeah, Mano215 said, nah, everybody. Maybe if he has that actual Reed haircut and the gray sideburns, sure. Marvelous D said, did you enjoy your birthday? I did enjoy my birthday. Thank you so much.
Oh, was it your birthday? Happy birthday.
Yeah, my birthday was, what was that, Saturday, I think? Andre Ware said it's Adam Driver's face. It's a Doom face, not a Reed Richards.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree. I agree.
And the tone, like we've seen him, like whether that Scarlett Johansson movie about marriage,
yeah,
or Kylo Ren,
yeah,
like his ability to like have like rage, and then he also has the range, you know, to play someone intelligent. So I understand them saying, you know, Reed in that sense, but I see him more as being able to pull off both as Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Mano215 said might be the Surfer. And then D-Stizzle said he can't act, but he still looks like Kylo Ren in a Fantastic Four uniform to me. Let's see. Okay, so we'll move here to the next topic. And the next topic that we're going to move here to is going to be Black Cat. So... well, yeah, so, oh yes, this is on Twitter. I'm sorry, this is coming from Ember here. Oops, let me push you down. All right. So, okay, here's some of the things we already know about Spider-Man moving forward past No Way Home in the MCU. We know that Tom Holland, rumored-wise, has already signed his contract. This was a couple months ago. Tom Holland himself has already signed his contract for things that he's going to be doing involving the MCU per Sony. We know that Sony and Marvel, also rumored, have signed their contract. Nothing to do with, obviously not, this contract is separate from Tom's contract. This has to do with Marvel being able to use Spider-Man in the MCU. And we also know that Spider-Man 4 is coming. Spider-Man 5 and 6 are also coming, and it's going to be 5 and 6 are going to be dealing with the symbiote storyline. We know that Spider-Man 4 is going to, the events from Daredevil Born Again are supposed to bleed into Spider-Man 4, making
really cool.
making us, because in Born Again, Kingpin is going to become Mayor Kingpin. It's going to carry over to Spider-Man 4, and this is kind of the theory I gave on, well, not really a theory, just a tone I gave for it. We have to remember, no one knows who Peter is. He is actually Spider-Man at this point. He is living in an apartment. I'm sure he's going to have a job. I'm sure he's going to be, feeling depressed. Yeah, hopefully at this point, The Bugle is no longer, I'm sure, a podcast. I'm sure J. Jonah Jameson has the Daily Bugle building. If he's working for The Bugle and things like that, we're going to see. So you have to think again. The MCU, still, the citizens still believe that Spider-Man killed Mysterio. Knowing that, still believing that he killed Mysterio, and seeing him, some people are still against Spider-Man. So he's by himself. People are still against him. Now he's going to be going after the mayor, and you've already just killed another person that we all adore. Now this menace is, you can already hear J. Jonah Jameson, this menace is going after the mayor, blah, 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 blah. You're going to see all that shit going on. That's in the events from Daredevil Born Again bleeding into that. The only thing he's really going to have is seemingly Daredevil.
Right.
You know, and I love the fact that him and Daredevil are going to form that, like in the '90s series.
Yes.
Going to form that relationship, and I hope we see some of that
I like
banter.
That they're building this street level.
Yes.
Marvel that we've got the big dogs, but then we've also got that street level, which I'm excited about.
So,
and also, Jameson always had a relationship with Fisk. And didn't know he was the Kingpin.
That's true. That's
and
true.
so they always had a working relationship, especially just with stature that they both had within New York. And so they're always rubbing shoulders. So I definitely agree with you on that. That that's an avenue if he's going after Mayor Kingpin.
Mm-hmm. The Daily Bugle would definitely be using that.
Yep.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Everything that happened in No Way Home still happened, but the memory of Peter was just erased.
Yes.
So people still remember him being involved in the shit from No Way Home, being involved on the shit that took place on the Statue of Liberty. You know, so J. Jonah Jameson has a case already built up against Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So now you're going to be going up against the mayor. Now you've got this other mass creep running around with you, and all the things that's going on that's going to be going on in that film. So he's by himself. He's going to be depressed. He doesn't have MJ. He doesn't have his best friend. He doesn't have his aunt.
Yeah.
He's he doesn't have Tony.
Yeah.
Who I don't
Even
know.
Lucky didn't know who he was.
Right. Happy didn't know who he was.
Or Happy. Not Lucky.
Happy didn't know who he was. The Avengers are not a team currently in the MCU. He can't call anybody and talk to be like, hey, anything like that.
Yeah.
Now you're going after the mayor because you have to be that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yep.
You have to protect people, and Wilson Fisk. I'm sure what he's going to learn either via Daredevil or maybe they both are honing in on something. They run into each other, meet each other there. I don't know how they're going to do it, but Spider-Man 4 sounds. I'm just excited, one, not just for my pure love for Spider-Man, but just because of some of the things we've heard about it.
Yes.
Spider-Man 4 sounds like it's going to be really dope, and it's also one we know is coming before Kang Dynasty because Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, is going to play an important role on that Avengers team, that newly formed Avengers team. But not just him, Tobey Maguire too. So we know that about it. However, we do have updates for Spider-Man 4. Originally, Black Cat was supposed to be in it, Felicia Hardy. And Ember has had this to say. She said, looks like Black Cat will not be a part of Spider-Man 4's story. MCU Peter Parker's love interest remains Michelle MJ Jones Watson. Make no mistake, there are plans for her. Sony is discussing making a Black Cat movie, Jesus Christ, set in the SSU. The decision in the SSU is the Sony spin-off universe. Wowzers. The decision to exclude her from Spider-Man 4's story buys them more time to decide what to do with the beloved character. Well, then she goes on to say that this decision was likely made in part due to the real relationship and chemistry between Tom and Zendaya. Listen, they can take that SSU and shove it so far up their ass. Right. No one can, Sony is one of the only companies I know that wants to have one of the most successful IPs, but never use the main guy in your IP. They want to make all these spin-off series without Spider-Man. And I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see a Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, show, but can I see her with Spider-Man? Can I see her with Peter Parker? I thought, especially with where Peter currently is, you don't have to replace MJ because at the end of the day, MJ is the end game for Peter.
Yes.
At the end of the day, that's just what it is. MJ is the end game.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have Felicia come in and be like the relationship moving forward in 5 and 6, but you can have her come in and be what she is. They flirt a lot.
Yes.
Have her just come in
when he's with MJ.
Yes, even when he's with MJ, just have her come in and be that flirtatious thing to get his mind off of it, being depressed that no one knows you, or anything like that. You can have her come in and not be the MJ, but be the love interest at least for that film.
Right.
I think that's so dumb, and it's so dumb to me that Sony continues to just harbor Spider-Man
Yes.
characters and not want to
Just
use
to
them.
use them to ruin them.
Yes, just to use them to ruin them. It's quite annoying.
We'd
So-
much rather see her in the MCU than see her in some Sony film.
exactly.
I
You
think
know,
everybody would agree on that.
but Sony is gonna Sony. You know, they're gonna Sony, and they believe like they this is the same company that said we're doing a Hypno Hustler. This is the same company that said we're doing fucking El Muerto. The same company that said we're doing a Rhino and Sandman buddy cop film.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, because everyone was calling for that, we know.
The same fucking company that put Morbius in theaters twice, then put that fucking in credit scene in there from Vulture that said, I don't know why I'm here, but I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. Well, whoever wrote that shit, like, no, bro, like, no. And they continue to miss the mark. They
Yeah.
continue to miss the mark because
Well,
Felicia
they do.
definitely should have been in
Yes.
Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
They've
I mean,
just,
I never read that she was going to be in there, and then my first thought was, oh, well, I guess MJ's down the road for good.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. That's not even how it ever was in the comics.
never. Like I said, that's the end game. That is
Yeah.
Peter's end game. Along the way, he dabbles, but that's
Yeah.
the end game.
Yeah.
Like,
And
like-
I mean, even like Peter knows Felicia,
right.
so they have their interactions.
Exactly.
And then Spider-Man not knowing she's Felicia, and then Black Cat not knowing he's Peter. They also have their own separate thing.
Right.
It's like a little steamier.
Right.
But she's always got her titties out at that point.
Right. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah,
I think
I
they
don't get
definitely
it.
should have kept her in.
I mean, it's Sony.
It is Sony. So, you know, but Sony,
Bullshit,
like,
though.
they would rather have you do all these damn mental gymnastics and shit about Tom and bringing Tom into their universe. That's what they're going to do. They're going to wait to bring Tom into their universe so they can have Tom fight the villains they've established within their universe.
Yeah.
While at the same time they're still trying to establish their new Spider-Man, because
Yes.
Sony has yet to do that. They have yet to announce whoever their new Spider-Man is in their universe, and
God save us all.
That's what I was
So-
just thinking.
so but as always, your mileage may vary. You could feel very differently than we feel. Let us know down below in the comments what you're thinking. Are you thinking, oh yeah, these spin-offs at Sony are fucking great, let's keep that up? Or are you thinking, no, why did they take Felicia Hardy's Black Cat out of Spider-Man 4? That would have been a great distraction, love interest for Peter moving forward. We got MJ in 3 films, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's the end game, bro. I want to see him with MJ.
Yeah.
But can I see some of these other badass characters he does interact with too? Sony's, no, bro. So I don't know. Again, you could be different. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about that.
Let's see. Executive Judge says Feige did say Spider-Man and Daredevil would be the faces of the street level side of the MCU, as well they should be. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Nerds Only said, I'm hoping since it's Hush Hush a lot lately, Spider-Man 4 is all about a Daredevil team-up. His mentality after No Way Home ends with Sim. Is he meaning symbiote? Oh, Sim stalking him. Gets in Secret Wars and then keeps it for 2 movies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, the symbiote suit he's
Yeah,
talking
the
about.
symbiote suit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's when we'll also see Tom Hardy Venom too.
Yeah, I
we
think
get
he's
Secret
going to be in
Wars.
there. I think he'll be in Secret Wars.
Hungry Almighty, I hope in Spider-Man 4 through 6 the tone is actually serious, no more goofy comedy. It should be like Cap Winter Soldier.
I agree. I think Spider-Man 4 should be the tone should be more.
Yeah.
Obviously, give us that Spider-Man tone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But make it like
He's a Spider-Man who just lost everything.
everything.
Literally everything.
Like
No one knows he exists.
Yeah.
He's completely
Everything.
isolated.
Everyone's still, again, people are still against him.
Yes.
People
that
are still
too.
against him.
Yep.
There's still that whole Mysterio was right thing, or
Yep.
or whatever people were saying. Like, he's still dealing with that. Now he's dealing with the events from No Way Home. Now he's, again, going to be helping. Because the rumor is he's also supposed to be in Born Again. He's supposed to be
Yeah.
showing up in Born Again.
Oh, hell yeah.
I know. If it's real,
If it's true, yeah.
oh my gosh. So, he's going to be dealing with those events from Born Again, bleeding over into his film, and having to deal with Fisk, and so I'm assuming he's going to know Fisk from Born Again. He's going to meet
Right,
him then.
right.
Like, Bro, I just want to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man
Yes.
be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I love Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home.
Yeah. Me too.
But I can't wait to see him on that street level.
Yes.
No Iron
That
Man
costume
tech.
we saw
Yes,
at the
that
very end of the last
costume.
movie.
Yes. I love Spider-Man, so
I
that's
love
what I
Spider-Man.
need to see.
That's my number one. Let's see. Connoisseurs Triple Salute said SSU really. D Steezel says
That
probably
took them
should.
all year to come up with.
Yeah, that's theirs. That's their acronym. D Steezel says probably should introduce Felicia in Across the Spider-Verse first before they screw her up in live action.
Yeah. They could have introduced her there too, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely could. Nerds Only says, I think Marvel are worried about appeasing the fans with how Black Cat acts for a kid's movie and making people pissed about nerfing her.
I definitely agree with that one.
Yeah.
Because I've said the same thing with Mystique. The Mystique, how she's dressed and portrayed in the Fox universe, she's more than likely going to have the white dress on that she wears in comics and things like that, or the '90s series. Like she's not about to be.
I wonder if she'll have her gun back.
If she'll have what?
Have her gun back? Because she always had a gun back in the day.
She might. Maybe. I don't know. But she definitely ain't about to be looking like.
No.
Not like that. Not in the House of Mouse. You ain't.
No. Let's see. Raymond says the SSU is tragically going to continue, and it deserves and needs to die as hard as the DCEU, its counterpart, is about to die.
They do need to scrap that shit.
Let's see. Double M says, I think Disney has to approve Spider-Man and Sony's Spider-Verse.
No. Are you
I
meaning
think
like
just Tom Holland's?
No, not even any
Not
of
even
that.
Just
Disney
any likeness of Spider-Man. Sony has.
Yes, Sony
rights to.
has full autonomy to everything with
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Like when it comes to, that's why you notice the phase. Anytime Marvel lays out their new phase, Spider-Man is never on it.
Right.
Because you don't say when Spider-Man's coming out. We tell you when If they want the film to come out on a Sunday at 3 a.m., well, damn it.
Right. Yeah.
That's what Marvel's got to do.
Yeah.
Like they, so they control the advertising. The only thing Marvel gets to make the decision on is what films of theirs Spider-Man shows up in. Outside of where he shows up, they have no say.
Okay.
They don't even get to make a say on the advertisement. The advertisement's all Sony.
It's all done through Sony.
Yeah.
What's the revenue split between them?
That part I don't know, and I don't want to lie
I'm
and
curious
say something wrong.
What it is?
Yeah, that part I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's in Sony's favor for sure.
Yeah. Dan the Mam said, "Look, man, hot damn it! The only way Sony Universe works is if their Spider-Man is Garfield or Maguire."
Garfield.
Garfield, yeah, definitely do that. Do that and give us the Spider-Man that doesn't pull his punches.
Yes, give me that Spider-Man 3
wanna
that I
see him
need.
punch.
I need that TASM 3.
Yeah, punch Scorpion's jaw off, dude.
Yeah.
Hungry Almighty, unpopular opinion, but Spidey being in the official Avenger lineup is something I never digged. Keep Spidey as a ground level guy and only bring him in big Avengers movies as cameos.
Yeah. They've established him in the MCU as definitely a part of that that Avengers team. I mean, he even said it. Said it to Toby and Andrew. Not to brag, but I'm in the Avengers.
Avengers, yeah. Let's see.
Dan said, "Do you guys have any good news?" No.
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 Dude,
No,
Not a
because
lot lately.
the next topic's not any more
the
promising.
next one we're talking about anymore.
It's Limor, so no.
Yeah. Let's see. How's this pronounced? Mike Ramos. He says, "Come visit Glamouraze on Twitch. Bar none, the best COD player on the internet. I watch her faithfully. She's going to blow up." She also, I think he sent two of the same in a row. But good to see you in the channel. CGZ said, "Didn't Black Cat and Morbius hook up in the animated series?" They sure did.
Yeah, he was.
That was even in that Blade storyline, and she ended up leaving with him.
Yeah, give me. What's Morbius's real name? It's just Dr.
Michael.
Dr. Michael Morbius, yes.
Michael Morbius,
It's,
yeah.
it's Morbius. Michael Morbius. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, he was in a relationship with Felicia. In the 90s
Yep.
series, yeah, he was in a relationship with Felicia. That played into that whole Blade arc.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
He first said, for the love of Stanley, let him keep that suit for at least one movie.
Yes, honestly. Hungry Almighty said you can't make a universe out of Spider-Man like you can do Batman. At least with Batman, you have Nightwing, Catwoman, Batgirl, Red Hood, etc. But with Spidey, you only have Miles Morales, Black Cat, and maybe Venom.
Yeah. The Blues House said Black Cat in Spider-Man 4 would be hella dope. Like you said, the flirting and banter between them would make for a cool story. She would help get his mind off MJ. I'm telling you, it would be dope. I don't understand. I mean, I get it. It's just Sony not wanting to share the toys, but...
Right.
Double M said Tom Holland is shared with Disney. Yes, he is shared with Disney, but he's not...
Why? Shared is such a strong word. They loan that motherfucker.
Yeah, they rent him out.
Yeah, they loan him to Disney. And let Disney say the wrong shit. They're taking him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. Hungry Almighty said, wait, Sony is still keeping the SSU? I thought Madam Web was going to reboot that.
No, Madam Web is supposed to catapult that.
Right.
Madam Web is supposed to catapult us into Spider-Geddon and the
Yep,
stuff that's
yep.
going to tie into the Amazon series and possibly even the Across the Spider-Verse or Beyond the Spider-Verse. My theory still stands that Beyond the Spider-Verse breaks into Sony's live-action stuff.
I think so, too.
That's just my theory. But I was wrong about them bringing Miles in, so I might be wrong about that too.
Yeah. Let's see. Gray said Spider-Man can't have no fun with Felicia Hardy, not even for a little while. God damn it, shake my head.
Yeah, I know. Sad. I see Dougie first said, thank you for the subscription. I see.
Thank you.
And who'd that come from?
Architect Gaming and Media.
Cool. Thank you for that. Ross Dogs, Broken Spirit. Well, actually, let me leave this here. Dougie Fresh read that one. Double M said Disney really needs to buy Sony out, kick them to the curb.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I don't know if there's a number that Disney could present to Sony to where they would say, we're giving you Spider-Man. Because they're not stupid. They know what they have.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, when No Way Home made what? It made $1 billion.
Yep.
Then they re-put it in, not $1 billion. Did it make $1 billion?
I'm pretty sure it made $1 billion, yeah.
Okay. Then they re-put it in theaters on $3 weekend, and it made $600 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
They know what they have in Spider-Man. They know that if they have a cash, they just are blindly, they don't know how to use him.
Well, even just go back to the Tobey movies, go back to the Andrew movies, just any of the Spider-Man movies, and they're all going to be like the top-grossing Sony films that Sony's ever had.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true. But I agree, they should buy them out.
Yeah.
Ross Dogs, Broken Spirit said, who's the next actor to play Professor X?
Rumoredly, it's Giancarlo Esposito.
Mm-hmm.
He is next to play Professor X. That's what we've heard. That's what he wants. He said he wants to play Professor X. Well, he didn't say that. He didn't say he wants to play Professor X. I think didn't he say something like that?
He wanted to play somebody else, actually, wasn't he? Wasn't he calling to play somebody else?
I know fans were calling for him.
Something, right?
Well, he did that. He was at some con, and he said that he's talked to Marvel. Some people were calling him to play Doctor. He said Doctor Doom. He said Professor X. He said Magneto. I think Professor X was the last name he said. Yeah, he said and Professor X, and he said. I don't remember what
It was a while ago too, but I think it's Giancarlo Esposito that is going to be Professor X. Afterclaw said, we all know Sony is going to eventually run the Spider-Verse into the ground just like the Raimi and Webb films. Yeah. Let's skip down some. Raymond said, I'm waiting for the day when someone buys out Sony and Spider-Man and his homies can go back home. Wait, never mind. Keep them at Sony. At least we can get a deep, gritty Spider-Man movie. My bad.
Yeah, bring Andrew back.
They need to give us that TASM 3.
Yep.
D Sizzle said Felicia hooked up with quite a few folks in the comics, from Luke Cage to Matt Murdock, etc. And Double M said Miles is better than any second fiddle Batman sidekick. Yeah. Need to see Miles. Connoisseur Triple Salute said sounds like Felicia for the streets.
She's a stray cat.
Yeah, okay. Cam said No Way Home made $2 billion. I knew it made. It had. I thought it made a lot of money. Like I knew it
Did
made.
it surpass 2?
Okay, yeah, it did. So okay.
Surpassed $2 billion, man.
Pookie Wood. I mean, shit. I saw it I saw it 6 times within 48 hours. Yeah.
What the fuck?
So
Darius?
yeah.
What the fuck?
After we saw it that day, I went back that next morning. Then I went that night. I think maybe only 5 times because I went with a
But
friend.
within 2 days?
Within 2
That's
days.
gnarly,
I saw it so
man.
many times.
That is
I
nuts.
love that movie.
I saw it twice, and then I saw it again on the $3 weekend.
We were gonna go see it on the $3 weekend, but then I saw all the stuff that they put in it was just on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I don't need to go see it now.
Yeah.
Pookie Wood said, I don't want to go, Mr. Stark, was really a plea to Disney. T-Stizzle said...
Don't make me go to Sony, please.
Don't make me go. PS4 Spider-Man game did a very good job with Peter and Felicia's relationship/history. I love that game. I want to play the one. When does that one come out? Did they announce that when it comes out?
They did,
Is it this year? I think isn't it 2023 that comes out?
2023,
fall?
but I think it's in the fall.
Yeah, fall. Yeah, bro, give me that one.
Yeah,
with Venom.
Can't wait.
Nerds Only said he wants to be Charles or either Magneto. Yeah.
Which I've also heard Denzel for Magneto.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I think but I've also heard that Michael Fassbender's Magneto is going to be the Magneto that Feige brings in with the Fox X-Men and everything like that for whatever they're doing with them in Phase 5 until Secret Wars. But I've also heard that Fassbender's Magneto may be the Magneto that moves on forward after.
Oh, really?
To be the Magneto.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I really liked Fassbender's Magneto.
For not just him, a couple of them. I don't know what that really means, but yeah. Double M said Sony can focus on their own homegrown characters like Kratos. Yeah. Why is Sony not doing that then? Why is Amazon doing God of War?
That's true. I hadn't even thought about that. It is Sony.
Yeah, that is Sony. Cleve17 said, do you think we get Gambit in the MCU? I do think we get Gambit, but again, we are about to talk about we're about to talk about the X-Men.
X-Men, yeah.
So Yuri G said, yes, it is this fall. Dougie Fresh said sometime this year. Nerd Only said it's holiday 2023. So yeah, we're around the same time. SP Flash 1523 said, I think Peyton List from Cobra Kai would have made a good MCU Black Cat. I do like Peyton List. You know who she is? She's the girl from she plays did you watch Jessie on Disney? Wait, am I mixing her up? Isn't Peyton List? Yeah, Peyton List is Jessie, or she's not Jessie. Debbie Ryan's Jessie. I forget the character she plays in. Anyway, she's from that. But she's also from Cobra Kai. Did you watch Cobra Kai? Yeah, she's from Cobra Kai.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. And then an executive judge said, what kind of money you got to be seeing No Way Home 6 times? Not like that, brother. Not like that. But for Spider-Man, I was like, No Way Home was just so good to me. I was like, take my money. And then Raymond said, Darius, where did we see that leak or post that showed the different teams that will be on the Avengers Kang Dynasty? Like the one with the Avengers, Young Avengers, Ground Heroes comics, and the Damn. I remember that picture. Was that on... Let me find that, Raymond, because I think it's in my saved shit. I'm gonna have to scroll back. Let me find it, though, and if I find it, I'll send it on Discord. Okay. Raymond said, Jesse, man. Yes, Cameron Boy. So every time I
think Jesse. I think Cameron, and that shit is so sad. Cameron Boyce was one of the kids on Jesse. He, I think he had, it was a seizure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I think he had a seizure in his sleep. He passed away when he was 20.
Damn.
Super sad. Super sad. Super talented too. Could dance, could act. Super sad. But, Emma is the character's name from Jesse. Pookie Wood said, wait, is Spider-Man the only movie/show that Sony has? No, they have others. They just...
That's their big one.
Yeah, that's just their biggest.
Are they Uncharted?
Sony
Did they do
Uncharted?
that Uncharted movie?
They might have. I think Sony did do Uncharted.
Yeah.
I think that is.
So why aren't they doing
I don't
their
know.
own thing with Kratos?
I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe they are partnered with Amazon, and Amazon's just going to be the streaming service they use.
Right.
Sony doesn't have a streaming service.
That's true.
So maybe just I think that's what it
They
is.
don't really do television shows.
Yeah.
They do movies.
All right, let's talk about Lymore. So Nate Moore, Marvel Studios VP Production and Development, Nate Moore, seems to be whenever we discuss anything involving black characters over at Marvel, Nate Moore is front and center.
Yeah.
And that's an issue for me. And it's an issue for me because we were talking about the same man that got on camera and said it took seconds for us to decide to get rid of media's first leading black superhero and to never bring him back in comics, or to bring him back in the MCU. Now, the last part I added, but that's what they've indicated.
Yeah.
So when you have Nate Moore, obviously saying the shit ton of things that he said about the BP franchise moving up to Wakanda Forever, even the things he said after Wakanda Forever and things like that. And even, what was that? Back in, what was that? 2 months ago, he said, he's talking to Screen Rant, and we talked about this. 2 months ago, he was talking to Screen Rant. Screen Rant asked him about the X-Men and Storm, and he said, well, Storm's relationship with Wakanda in publishing is pretty interesting. Obviously, we might be a few years out from the X-Men, so I'm not sure where we're there yet. So he's kind of talked about this, and again, we did kind of talk about this, but I'm going to read recently what he just recently had to say here. But we kind of been talking about also seeing black heroes, other black heroes outside of Storm and Bishop. When we talk about the X-Men, that is something that always gets brought up in the chat, is how diverse the X-Men are and how many POC mutants there are a part of the X-Men, and how we should be seeing some of them, and we should be seeing Prodigy, even though not a lot of people may know who Prodigy is, but we should be seeing characters like Prodigy, we should be seeing characters like Bling, we should be seeing characters like Darwin, not just the black characters that Aurora and Bishop, but we should be seeing some of these other ones too. Like, you have all this time to plan, and from my understanding, while I'm about to read it, they're still planning. You need to bring in some of these other X-Men, but definitely usher in the ones we know first. Get in the mainstays, and since you're getting in those guys, Bishop and Storm need to be done justice. Why? Because we've not had a Storm in publishing, or a Storm in media, as far as films go, done. Because Halle Berry's Storm, I'm not checking for Halle Berry. I never was. No. I saw a podcast where somebody was saying, Halle Berry's Storm was great. I hope they bring her back for Secret Wars. That's fine. Right. But have our Storm. Like, if she needs to go on the farewell tour too, bring her. But she's not, nah.
No, it hasn't been done right.
No.
Or Rogue.
Yeah. So
Rogue.
So this needs to be done correctly here. So in a recent interview with Deadline, the Deadline Crew Call podcast, Nate Moore talked about seeing Bishop and Storm in the MCU, and this is what Nate Moore had to say. Marvel Studios producer Nate Moore revealed which two X-Men he's excited to see join the Marvel Cinematic Universe MCU, one of whom he's already expressed interest in. Despite gaining ownership over the Fantastic Four and X-Men in 2019, only the former was announced to be officially in development. Moore mentioned that fans might have to wait a few years
until they see the X-Men in the MCU. So while the group didn't appear in Phase 5 and likely won't appear in Phase 6 either, that doesn't mean the MCU is devoid of mutants. After all, Namor recently made a debut in Black Panther sequel, declaring himself a mutant. However, when asked in an interview about which black superheroes he's excited to see join the MCU, Moore didn't miss a beat, naming 2 prominent X-Men. Of course, the only 2 people he probably knows outside of T'Challa. Then he said, in an interview on Deadline Crew Call podcast, Marvel Studios producer Nate Moore was asked what other black superhero stories he'd like to see told in the MCU, to where Moore answered, "That's it. No secret. The X-Men are coming home. And that Storm and Bishop are 2 of the great characters in that franchise. There's no secret the X-Men are coming home, and oh boy, if you talk about Storm and Bishop, they're two of the great characters in the franchise that I certainly could pitch you ideas all day." And I'm gonna stop you there.
He seriously said, "Oh boy."
He said, "Oh boy."
He said, "Oh boy."
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you there, Nate.
Oh boy.
The only thing I want you pitching is different vacation spots for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't want you pitching ideas for Bishop and Storm. And the reason I don't want Nate Moore pitching ideas for Bishop and Storm, because this is the same Nate Moore that looked at T'Challa and said within seconds, done. This is the same Nate Moore that is putting a powerless Sam Wilson in his own film, and then quoted saying, which I don't have a problem with wanting him to struggle, but that builds a great superhero film. But this is the same Sam that couldn't get a bank loan.
Yeah.
The same Sam where his family was portrayed as, struggling. Yeah. The typical things, and he's an Avenger.
Yeah.
I don't like Nate Moore's treatment of black characters in the MCU. Why is Nate Moore the one? Why is he the go-to? I know why he's the go-to. He's the token over there. But why does he have to be the one that's helming the black characters over at Marvel Studios? Because every time they talk about a black character, who pops in? Nate Moore. Well, I can tell you. This is what we're gonna do.
Oh boy.
And oh boy, I'm sorry, and now we're actually entertaining the idea of him talking about and being producer of other black characters and films, and bro, I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. I'm so jaded when it comes to Nate Moore, just because of all the things we've discussed over here about Nate Moore, all the decisions that they have just blindly made. I
wish Marvel would just cut ties.
Not gonna happen. But I
wish.
And again, your mileage may vary, bro. I personally get a cold shiver down my spine every time I hear his name attached to a black hero or character. Yeah. So I don't want him. I don't want. And then I'll read you the last thing that he said here, just because. Oh boy, why not? He said, when asked if there are directors for any X-Men films, Moore clarified, no. This is what. Okay. Anyway, no. We're early days. Yeah, that's his quote. That's what he said.
Why does he talk like this?
I don't know.
He talks so
well, you
strange.
remember when we were watching the thing when he said "and alive."
Yes.
He's so weird. That shit was so funny.
When E-Man was interviewing him.
Yeah,
too.
that shit was so funny. He said "and alive." The way he looked at the camera. Oh shit. Okay, but then he goes on to say, before Moore expressed interest in the 2 X-Men, he also gave credit to one upcoming black character, Monica Rambeau, and how Teyonah Parris does a fantastic job in the Marvels. Oh boy, again. Oh boy.
He's back to oh boy.
Yeah, there's a ton. You'll get a taste of it next summer in the Marvels, because Monica Rambeau, who was introduced in WandaVision, and Teyonah Parris does a fantastic job, but she's a great character from publishing who's been around again for decades. Never mind. And then the last thing, this is from the direct. This is not anything he said. The direct said, how could Storm be portrayed in the MCU? Well, let's see. Storm has not had the best adaptations in live action. No, she hasn't. Often being reduced to minor players, also being reduced to a minor player among the X-Men. That's very true. However, in the comics, she is revered as a goddess. She is an Omega-level mutant.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's a goddess with the powers to match, and is often in leadership roles on the team. That's very true. Even in the '90s series, she's in leadership roles on the team.
Yeah. Even in Spider-Man animated series, with
Yeah.
their adaptation of Secret Wars,
Yes,
he was able to choose
who he wanted,
was
and he
like,
chose.
I've met the X-Men. He was like, he chose Storm.
Yeah, he
'Cause
chose
she
Storm.
wasn't Halle Berry Storm. Where
Yeah,
she
she
kinda
was.
changed the
She
weather
was
a
the
little
goddess commanding Omega
Yeah.
level mutant Storm.
bit. Yes.
And it says, it's encouraging to see It's encouraging to see an MCU producer such as Nate Moore so passionate about the character, which hopefully means she'll finally be given the respect she deserves when she makes her MCU debut. Still, the mention of Bishop is interesting since he's from a dystopic future like Deadpool's Cable. That's true. The X-Men have often dealt with time travel, so it'll be curious to see if any future MCU X-Men stories will revolve around it even after Kang in the multiverse are dealt with in Phase 6. Yeah, like I said, I don't want Nate Moore talking about black characters, but I am excited about the possibilities of Aurora being brought into the MCU, having Bishop being brought into the MCU. But again, obviously bringing those black heroes that we do know. But you know, I even was having a conversation with someone the other day where they were like, "Are there really that many other black heroes in the MCU?" And or in Marvel? I was like, "There are, but you know, unless you're an avid comic reader or you're an MCU fan to where you're introduced to these characters, you won't know." And this is why I said, this is why I always say, for black kids that don't read comics, that only pay attention to the MCU, once they sit down and watch Wonder Man on Disney Plus, it's kind of like that same conversation where somebody just asked me, are there really that many black superheroes? Because you don't know. So for this average fan that doesn't read comics, that sees Wonder Man and thinks he's black, but then maybe that interests you to want to pick up a comic, the stories aren't going to translate. You know what I'm saying? The cultural story, the cultural aspect of it is not going to translate for you. So I look at bringing in other black heroes and things like that. Obviously bring in Bishop and Storm and establish them, but then, like I said, Darwin, Bishop, Bling, some of these other, Jazz even. I mean, that's a minor one, but even guys like that, bring in some of these black mutants that, Cloak is even, considered, he is a mutant, not X-Men, but he is a mutant. Bring in some of these guys, again, Nate Moore, just stop. No, don't want him involved. So
That's for sure.
yeah, I didn't put that up again. Gosh, I have not. Ooh, now I put it on solo. I've not been good today. I'm so sorry. I did not put this up, the article. But that's it. That's where Nate Moore's quote came from. And again, this is the second time he's brought up Storm. So, but as he said, they are in the. Make sure I say how many earlies he said.
There was
again.
a lot of earlies.
They are in the. Oh, that's the Doctor Strange one.
Oh boy, was it a lot of earlies.
Yo boy, they are in the early days. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end is so peculiar.
That's so. I don't know. It's gonna be some time before we see the X-Men. So I think that kind of puts the rumor that they are coming in 2027. The Mutant Saga I think that's what it's going to be. I've seen like they've said though, like they said in the article, that doesn't mean like other mutants can't show up before.
Right.
As we've seen Namor. Obviously, Kamala Khan has been made a mutant, so so we've got 2 established mutants in the MCU.
Right. We saw that newspaper article about the man with claws and She-Hulk.
Yeah, and see, I was so hyped for that with She-Hulk, but at this time, I'm just
what from She-Hulk can we?
What from She-Hulk can I take seriously? I don't give a damn. That show can. So yeah, we'll see.
You didn't watch that one 6 times.
No. So yeah, we'll definitely see what happens with the X-Men. It's gonna probably that Phase 7 rumor of being the Mutant Saga. That's gonna be when we see the X-Men. Yeah. But as always, question is for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about what's going on in the MCU right now, as far as Nate Moore's comments about the X-Men being in the early early stages. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you guys think of, Storm being brought in, Bishop being brought in, how long it's going to take for us to possibly see some of them, or are they going to be some of the ones, I doubt it, but are they going to be some of the ones that we see trickling in before the Mutant Saga? Maybe, though, to, already have some established heavy hitters. Maybe. I don't know. But the question is for you. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking.
Let's see. Marvelized D said, I hope that if Nate Moore have to do Storm storyline, I hope he doesn't mess it up like he did Black Panther 2. I would like him to get a darker skinned version person and she can act to play Storm.
Yeah. Who said that?
Marvelized D.
Yes, Marvelized D. I'm telling you, the worry of Nate Moore attached to it is something vicious.
Well, even just the thought of her coming in and there not being any T'Challa.
It's
disappointing.
Yeah, that one too. That one too.
Knowing that we're not getting that, it's
and
unnecessary we're not.
I'm also curious as to how old they're gonna make her.
Right. Yeah.
Are they gonna?
I have that question for a lot of the X-Men.
Yeah. Are they gonna make her fit in with TJ? I'm not saying 8. I'm not saying they're gonna make her 8.
Right.
But I'm saying by the time Storm is introduced, some years would have passed in the MCU. Right. And we know that from Ryan Coogler's interview, he kind of alluded to that they're going to take the comic accurate T'Challa stories and just insert them on little TJ.
Mm-hmm. I mean, X-Men do start as teenagers typically. So if we have a few years
and Storm into, which I'm not validating this shit. Yeah. I don't approve this shit at all. But this is Storm and T'Challa meet as teenagers, kids. I'll tell you what, I'm not here for that shit, but I feel like that's what they're gonna do.
Sorry for even bringing it up. My bad. we were okay. We were feeling all right. My bad, bro.
Oh, that's just funny. I'm sorry I even brought that shit up.
Sorry, I brought that shit up. That just really brought things to a screeching halt. Let's see. SB Flash says, you were right, Darius. It was Ryan's turn. Now it's Nate's turn.
Yeah, it was Ryan's turn. Now it's Nate's turn. Go, bro.
Xavier Phoenix says that name, Nate Moore, no longer has any meaning for me except instant anger. Yeah.
That name no longer has any meaning to me.
I'm like, oh boy, what is he going to say? D. Steezel says Nate seems to be in charge of all black characters, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, he seems to be. He's the token.
He is. Hunger Almighty said, let's see, what does ISTG stand for?
I swear to God.
Oh, okay. I swear to God, if Nate Moore says, let's use Storm for the next Black Panther movie, but no T'Challa.
Right? I'm telling you, I feel it.
They're going to have her be gay and be with Siri. Let's see. Double M, LOL, how can you kill Darwin? He got nerfed.
Yeah. He got nerfed. You want to know? Well, again, another conversation for another time. We all know why Darwin didn't make it out the film.
Yeah. Let's see. Sir Yuri G would definitely like to see Prodigy and Sync, especially the underrated Omega level mutant right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Andre Ware said, I knew Nate Moore was next up to start telling lies. Was Ryan, then Letitia, now Nate. LOL.
Oh yeah. Well, I'd even make the argument that Nate Moore been telling lies.
Yeah.
Nate Moore is the godfather of lies at the MCU. He has a book of lies. On his way to premieres, he studies that shit. What lie to tell today?
He didn't know truth until he was already a man. Like,
yeah.
It was nothing to him but blinding.
Yeah, he goes up to Ryan Coogler and then he says, you think you can lie? I was born in lies. I adapted it, molded by it.
The man who raised me thinks himself to be my father. Even that was a lie.
That's fucking Nate Moore.
That's Nate Moore. Right?
Yeah?
Yeah. That's what it was. It was yeah.
That's
that
Nate
was
Moore.
so that yeah was so weird. That was
It's
the
awkward.
Honest, yeah,
it's
ever.
awkward.
Anytime he talks, it's so awkward.
Misplaced.
Gray said Nate can mention them all day, but don't touch any of them. Let's see. Justin Mercado, keep Nate the fuck away from Storm and any colored character in Marvel. I don't need to see more of my favorite characters completely, utterly, and literally butchered.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then CGZ says Scent should be seen in live action.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I have a picture of Sync actually on our Canva page.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Diesel says Monet, Frenzy, Cecilia, Bedlam, not the Terry Crews version. Nerds only. I'm wondering if after Secret Wars we somehow get a time warp thing where years pass more ahead or a certain character get aged up, like T'Challa Jr. to do a Storm love story and X-Men explainers, etc.
Yes.
Possibly.
This is the picture of Sync I have up. But Sync's pretty dope, bro. Like, again, a mega
I'm
level.
not too familiar with him.
He's an Omega level mutant for sure.
Yeah. Is he a part of the Brotherhood of Mutants, or is he?
I don't believe
X-Men?
Sync was a part of the Brotherhood of Mutants. He was a part of the. Yeah, he was. No,
Okay.
he wasn't. He was a part of the X-Men.
He was X-Men. Okay.
Yeah, he was X-Men.
I don't know why his face. I just assumed he was a bad guy.
Yeah. No, he's. I would like to see him now. That'd be dope.
Double M says keep Nate away from all black characters.
Yeah.
Raymond said the same thing, and he also said please, so he was polite about it. Justin Ricardo, I don't even want Nate to think about Storm or Bishop or any minority characters. Xavier Phoenix saying, yeah, you can kick rocks and leave. Raymond 2000 said, I don't want no light-skinned Storm.
No.
And malnutrition Bishop. You cannot touch those characters. Raptor Cloak said Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler don't need any more involvement with our black heroes. We agree. Raymond said he treats black characters like Uncle Tyler Perry treats wigs
Uncle
and
Tyler
wigs.
Perry. You know, I was watching some TikToks the other day, and I found myself in the Tyler Perry play thread watching different things from the plays. Say again, I have my issues with Tyler Perry too, with the themes of his films, but those plays back in the day before Tyler started doing these big film productions, those plays, bro, like Class Reunion, Family Reunion, Madea Goes to Jail, like all of those plays were great. The plays were good. They were.
So
good.
they were plays before they were movies?
Yeah, like he.
Oh, I didn't
to
know
me,
that.
the plays are better than the movies.
Okay.
Yeah, the plays are good, bro. The plays are really good. They,
Was he doing like plays and movies at the same time, or did he start with plays?
He
and then
started
do
with
the
plays, then
Okay.
as he got bigger and bigger and bigger. Because my parents saw him when he came to the city. Like,
Really?
yeah, when he came to the city, he was doing plays back in the day.
I had no idea. I
Yeah.
just knew of him from his movies.
Yeah, he started with the plays, and the plays, like I said, Family Reunion or Class Reunion is one of my favorites.
Really?
Family Reunion and Class Reunion, both of those are
Yeah.
both two of my favorites. So yeah, he started with plays though.
Huh? I never knew that. Let's see. Cleve 17 said Sam is a black man. How much struggle do you want to see? Why do we always gotta struggle so much? Even Black Panther was about the struggles. Shake my head. We just want to see great stories, not this bullshit.
I agree.
Yep. Gray said Nate Moore gets excited and talks about black characters like George W. Bush used to talk about Iraq and its oil.
Who said that?
That was great. Do you remember when Kanye... I know now's not the time to talk about Kanye, but do you remember when he was doing that fundraiser? He was on there with Mike Myers, and it was for Katrina.
Yes!
And then it's
And
his turn to talk, and he just goes, George W. Bush doesn't care about black people.
The way Michael Myers
Yes.
looked at him.
Yes.
Oh my. Yes, I remember that.
How
I
fucking funny
remember
was that shit?
Some people are only privy to Kanye's antics after, the whole Beyonce had the best album of the year.
Yeah.
No, bro, that was not the first TV outburst.
No, this is back in like 2005.
I remember that shit.
That shit. The amount of times I've watched that on YouTube.
The way
And
Michael
yes,
Myers
like,
looks
yes, that makes the video so much funnier.
at him. So funny.
CGZ says the MCU should make being an Omega level mutant a big deal. I agree. SP Flash says Oh wait, no, he's talking to someone. Nico Bean with the Steam. Good to see you in the chat. He said, "Hey fam, how y'all be? We're doing
Appreciate
good."
you being here.
Cleve17 said, "Even Storm's nephew Spike."
Yeah, Spike too. Spike was in Evolution. Was Spike in X-Men Evolution? I believe Spike was in X-Men Evolution.
That cartoon show.
The cartoon
I'm
show.
pretty sure he was.
I think he
wasn't
was. I think he was.
I am gonna say yes. Cleve17 said, "I'm gonna be 50 when X-Men comes into the MCU. I'm 32 now."
Yeah, bro. We're gonna be pushing it.
Official Liam G says that he hopes to see Storm get a solo project. That could be cool.
Yeah, I would love to see Storm get a solo project.
Let's see. Oh, pop me back up. D. Steezel said they're going to focus on the most recognizable characters. That's why they're doing the X-Men 97 cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to start with and then build out.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is how they should do it.
I agree, definitely, for sure. You know, obviously, X-Men 97, from what Marvel has said, is canon and is about to play a role in all this. Don't ask me how. I don't fucking know.
Right. We'll find out when they do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Zang Beto said they're definitely connecting Storm to Child, sadly. Yeah. Let's see. Blues House said, "I hope no Storm and TJ. Would rather see Storm and Forge than a fake ass watered down wannabe T'Challa Jr."
Yeah.
Catwoman fan said, "I'm sorry, but y'all gotta stop making Storm just T'Challa's wife. She got a whole lot of story." I don't think we are. We're excited to see Storm. We're just saying it's disappointing that like there is a big part of her identity, which is her being married to T'Challa, and that there's a lot of cool storylines. And we just would like to be able to see that.
I would like to see it, yeah. But that's also why I pointed out at the beginning when we were talking about Storm, when they said she's a goddess. Yeah, I said, no, she's much more than T'Challa's wife. She is a goddess. She's an Omega-level mutant. That's why I get so upset at how sidelined she was in the Foxverse, because it's like, put some respect on Aurora Monroe. You have to know who she is. She was bad before she became the goddess queen of Wakanda.
Yes.
So, but that is a big part of her storyline too, is that she is married to T'Challa. But definitely check for Storm even outside of Wakanda.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like we're both excited to have Storm and to see her done right.
Right.
Pookie Wood said, "The only Nate we appreciate is Dog." I agree. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. Gray, they all need to take turns in shutting the fuck up. Agreed. Cornelius, who gave Nate more autonomy over all black characters at Marvel.
Telling you.
We were just like, oh, hey, you're
that's what we were, so we're talking about, like, why is he, well, we know why, but, yeah.
D. Stizzle said whoever co-signed Storm into Junior is tripping. We agree. Gray said if Nate Moore ain't lying, he dry snitching. Official AMG, I need Prodigy in the MCU. He brings more black mutant representation and actual organic LGBT representation.
Yeah, that's what I would love to see. Prodigy. I like Prodigy a lot. I know a lot of people aren't probably familiar with Prodigy like that because he's never been in. Prodigy's not been done anything outside of comics, I don't believe. I don't think he's in anything animated. I know he's not in anything live action.
That's for sure.
So yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Blues House said I wouldn't mind seeing M. Monet St. Croix in the X-Men. I'm not familiar.
Lost on that one.
Let's see. Raymond said if you want to rob a bank, do it with Nathaniel. Nate Moore's Kang.
Said Nathaniel.
Oops, I actually went too far. Raymond also says that Nate Moore lied. He ain't black. Let's see. Raymond also said, listen, say what you want. Medea's plays used to hit. They are fire, especially Medea Goes to Jail. I saw Medea on the Run when it came here a few years ago.
Yeah. I think my parents saw Medea on the Run, but they saw like 2 others also.
Yeah. Let's see. Gray said the plays were good until I saw the Boondock episode.
With whatever they called her. It wasn't Medea. It was Madea or Made or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was like rip off. Chill Spot, aka New Year, same spouse. Medea Goes to Jail was my favorite play
Love Medea
personally.
Goes to Jail. I love that one too.
Let's see. Then D Stizzle said none of the animated stuff should be canon. Cornelius said they. Oops. Where'd you go, Cornelius?
He said they need to remarry them in the comics. Yeah.
Yes.
Raymond said Storm is a goddess. She ain't nothing to play with at all. Raymond also said Nate Moore treats black characters like Dragon Ball Z treats black characters. If you know, you know. Raymond or Hungry Almighty said X-Men 97 canon to what? Don't ask me. The MCU 616 or more like the MCU multiverse. But at that point, what's the big deal? The Sony Spider-Man movies are canon. Fox X-Men, Wesley Blade movie. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, they're all canon.
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. Cornelia said Nate Moore is the male Rachel Dolezal. Somebody, who was it that asked? Was it, hold on, who asked? Who asked does Storm have a nephew?
Oh, yeah, I did notice that one.
Yeah, she does. Spike is her nephew, but they also said, I can't find it. Somebody asked that. But they also said, I thought she had a son. She does have a son. Azari is she and T'Challa's son. But Spike is also her nephew. Grace said Sync is now a part of the main X-Men. Oh, okay, cool.
Ooh, officially with G,
I haven't
disagree.
read in a while, bro.
He's saying X-Men Evolution's better than the 90s X-Men. I've got to disagree.
Servants. Wait, say that one more time.
He's saying X-Men Evolution is better than the 90s X-Men show, but if you didn't grow up in the 2000s, you wouldn't know. Laughed my ass off.
Well, you know, I would say for the year in the 90s that we were born, we got the best of both worlds. We grew up in the 90s and we grew up in the early 2000s.
Yeah, so we still got all those.
Yeah. X-Men Evolution, I loved. I loved X-Men Evolution, but I did love 97. 97 is so good, but Evolution was really good too.
Evolution was good too, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I liked Wolverine in that a lot. I thought Wolverine's portrayal was good in that.
Catwoman fan said, curious to know how you all think mutants will be introduced. You know, we were asked this. Did we get asked this last week and we were stumped on like ideas of how they're going to bring them in?
To come up, yeah.
I think the easiest thing, and I know a lot of people don't like this one, is to say Professor X is using Cerebro to make people forget the mutants' existence. I mean, because you have to explain where they've been, why, you know. With the Eternals, sure, you said because Arishem wouldn't allow us to interfere in things that, you know, weren't on whatever they were supposed to be doing. Or that didn't involve deviants. Which also doesn't... Well, I guess Thanos is part deviant, so does that... I don't... Again, questions.
Yeah.
Questions.
Part deviant, part eternal.
Part eternal, so it's like, were they conflicted? Like, damn.
Yeah.
Is this the deviant side of him or the eternal side? Like,
who was the mom? Who was the dad?
So it's like, I'm not sure. I just personally think maybe the easiest way is to use Cerebro to say that just X has been...
Literally for all mutants, though, because it's like...
I mean, I'm telling you, to think of something else...
Yeah, I can't think of anything better.
Because I've seen the other theory, like, oh, well, they come in from another universe and stay here. I hate that.
I hate that.
And it's the way I hate it with T'Challa. Like, if somebody said, like, they say, bring in another T'Challa and have that T'Challa breathe, I just don't want that. I mean,
it's just not the way it's supposed to be.
But then again, I don't want to contradict myself because I like Michael Fassbender coming in and being Magneto, you know? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, though.
But maybe he looks the same. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's alternate versions that they look identical, and then there's alternate versions where it's like Tom, Toby, and Andrew. You know?
That's true.
So who's to say if it's not just one? Because we've already seen two different Kanes that look identical.
That's true. That's true too. That's true. Yeah, I don't.
I want them to have existed. I want them.
I do
want
too.
there to be an apocalypse that has been around since ancient Egypt, We already have Namor, who's centuries old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I think so, I can't think of anything better than what you brought up with Cerebro.
I really have thought about this too outside of sitting here. I've thought, how do you bring these guys in and make it make sense? I don't like the whole idea, the theory that the mutants were formed when Thanos snapped. I don't like that, because then it takes away the X gene. You know what I'm saying? At that point, they were formed because of the stone.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't. It's a great question. It is a brilliant question, because we have talked about it at length before. You know, like how do you do this? I don't know though. I don't know.
Oh, I don't envy.
I don't envy them. Maybe that's why they're in the early stages.
Yeah.
Because maybe they don't even know how the fuck they dig themselves out of this hole.
Well, let's see.
Nerds Only said, what if the repercussions of Secret Wars make mutants somehow?
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
As much though.
He also said, I think Secret Wars goes the route of Battle Worlds, to where there becomes a prime Earth and suddenly more exist in the coexistent world of our Avengers. They could do that too.
Yeah, they could.
They could do that too, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some other ones there. Let me see. Andre Ware said X-Men Evolution started getting really good. I liked it a lot. Cleves17 said X-Men Evolution was hitting when it came out, but they were both great. We even got X-23 from that. That's true.
That is true.
That is true.
I forgot that she came from that.
Blues House said Wolverine in the X-Men was better than Evolution.
I liked Wolverine in the X-Men also.
Wolverine in the X-Men was good too.
That was a good one.
Blues House also said Spike was her nephew only in X-Men Evolution. Okay. Raymond 2000 said Nate is the Rudy Giuliani. Giuliani, yeah, Rudy Giuliani, and the and Donald Trump of Marvel.
Oh my gosh.
Cornelius said, y'all know I always got to say something crazy each live. Justin said, weren't mutants or at least more superpowered people just showing up out of the blue in She-Hulk? It seems, yeah, they were. It seems like they've just been here the whole time, and suddenly they're just now popping up. Yeah, they were. You know, we had Immortus or whatever, Mr. Immortus or whatever his name was, and She-Hulk. You had other powerful or super powered beings, you know, that she was representing, because she was representing the superhero, you know, law division and all that shit. So yeah. Hunger Almighty said Fassbender as the main MCU Magneto is something I would be down for, but highly doubt. I would be down for it too. CGZ said, what phase is DP3 in?
What's in phase? It's in 5, I think. It's in phase 5. It's in phase 5.
I think it's in phase 5. 2024, but I think it's in phase 5. Cleve said, do you think we see the Council of Kangs? I'm telling you, if they're smart, yes.
Yeah, that and the
Council of Reeds. I think we should see a Council of Reeds too. Use all the names that have been rumored. Use all of those people. I still think that's what they're doing, personally.
Right.
I still think all these names are not just names.
Right.
These are people that are going to be Reed, but different versions of Reed, possibly, if they even go that route.
Yeah, if they do.
But the I think we do possibly see a Council of Kangs. Let's see, where was I? Oh, I see. Blues House also said the mutants might show up due to the incursions, same way Miles was made 616 canon. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was saying about a whole universe colliding into another, and we get them. We could get them that way.
I think that's how we get some of the X-Men, because they come over from. Because I mean, Strange might have caused an incursion for that.
Yeah.
For that universe that was like the 97. Xavier.
Right. And then the way 97 leaves off, Xavier, correct me if I'm wrong, please. It's been a minute. I haven't watched 97 in a while. He's in space at the end of it, right? He leaves. That's why he's not in any of the promo art for the new 97.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. So maybe whatever they're doing with 97, like you said, maybe though, I don't know. I don't know.
They could tie in.
Because they did say that shit's canon, but like Hungry Almighty said, how? So, you know, we'll see.
They get brought in from an incursion.
Yeah. Nerds Only said, if Secret Wars goes the route... I read that one earlier. Hungry Almighty said, please, I hope the multiverse being the reason why we have the main 616 X-Men is not true. It's just stupid. Mm-hmm. There's that, because the multiverse is just such a bailout for me.
Yeah, it really is.
Justin said, they could have explained it in Eternals, considering the Celestials were also responsible for creating the X gene in the early humanity. Even Apocalypse gets his armor from Celestial tech. They could have done that, and that was something that some of us even speculated that they were going to do, but it was also a route they did not go. Mm-hmm. So it's like, again, early stages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So weird. I can't get over it.
Nerds Only also said at least some of those might be considered mutants for sure from She-Hulk Phase 6. Yeah. We all know Kamala Khan is the first MCU mutant. Yeah, you're right. Nerds Only said it's the first movie. Cornelius said, I wish Secret Wars was 2 separate movies. I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was going to be.
Remember, I've been saying, how do you do Secret Wars in one film?
I have no idea.
One film? It's going to be a long film.
Yeah.
Executive Judge said, I thought Deadpool 3 was in Phase... It might be Phase 6 because... Yeah, Phase 5 is already packed. It is. They didn't show Phase...
It is Phase 6?
It is Phase 6 because they did not show Deadpool on the slate for Phase 5. So it is Phase 6. Cornelius also said King Dynasty, then Secret Wars Part 1 and Part 2. But yeah, and that's what I think too. But it's seeming like King Dynasty is going to be like a Infinity War Endgame type deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nerds Only said Deadpool 3 is the first one of Phase 6, possibly the beginning of the bleeding in for the X-Men characters, setting that up for them coming for Avengers. Yeah, well, you know, we're supposed to be, the rumor is we're getting Judgment Day, Eternals versus Avengers. No, Eternals versus X-Men.
X-Men, right?
Before, yeah, Judgment Day is Eternals versus the X-Men, before we're getting X-Men versus Avengers. Then Andre Ware said... Lindra took Lalandra took Charles because he yes, the in 97 because he was dying. I'm sure he will be back. He will.
Yeah, he will.
Then Hungry Almighty said, when Miles became 616 canon, my only question was what happened to his backstory? Did his backstory stay the same? I think it did. I think his backstory did stay the same. Yeah. Cornelius said, get as many cameos as possible, introduce new characters, etc. IDK, how all of that fits in one film. Yeah, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in one film. But before we get out of here, I wanted to share this with you guys. Again, this is that dope X-Men stuff. This is probably one of my all-time favorite scenes from the Fox X-Men stuff. I love the opening to... Days of Future Past. I think the opening of Days of Future Past is great. So yeah, it's the Sentinels. I love the scene. It's so good. It is really good.
They're here.
Yeah, the portal from
Time's up.
Sentinels!
That's fun.
Let's go.
All the fallen X-Men. What are Sentinels gonna look like in the MCU?
I'm hoping for the classic purple.
To be honest, I thought these Sentinels were pretty damn cool. They tried to go the classic look once Wolverine went back in time.
And even like taking their one. But actually, that
Yeah, that opening scene. I really like Blank too.
I saw that happen. And I was
Oh, yep, they're just telling me right now. Your stream has been temporarily blocked.
like, oh gosh.
So let me go ahead and turn. I'm gonna mute the audio. I'm sorry. No audio, please. No audio. I apologize for that. Fucking YouTube hitting me up, telling me that your stream has been temporarily blocked. Yeah. Love the scene though.
Yeah, it is a dope scene.
I had to make sure that we were still even.
Right? That's why I was wondering. I was like,
I'm gonna have to go through and cut all this shit out because, or mute it all rather. No, this is where they got Blank. Turned around with the quickness. He said, "Nah, bitch, not this time. Not this time." Poor Blank.
it was so cool though, the way you see it, like facing forward in that, but then
Yeah.
you see him in the background facing the other way.
Is this not the part with Storm in them? It's not. It's not the part where Storm is kind of taking down some of them.
It's like out on like that balcony, right?
Yeah, on the outside of the building. Yeah, dope. Well, too late. What'd she say? Too late, assholes. Yep, Bishop's at the back. No, this is not the scene with Storm, though. I forget that that's in, like, separate parts.
Yeah. I was thinking of it all as one, too, actually. So it's been a minute since I've seen that one.
Yeah. Executive judge, they got a little too comfortable.
I did, bro. I forget. You can't watch shit like that. You gotta be careful with I forgot. Catwoman fan said, hands down the best Fox X-Men film. I thought so too. I
think
love
so, too.
Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
I love Logan though too, but I love Days of Future Past. That
Yeah.
Opening scene, like
I would say
Andre
it's my
Ware
number
said.
one. I liked First Class also.
I liked First Class
was
too.
good.
I liked First Class too.
But this is my number one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
Definitely.
Andre said definitely was an amazing opening scene. It definitely was. It definitely was.
CGZ said the creation of the Sentinels should start in Armor Wars.
I could see that. D Sizzle said Mousebots be watching. Hell yeah, they do. Network said, Martin from Double Toes said, Wakanda Forever is the best comic book movie ever made. Hey. Well,
Toast was a little burnt then because I don't know what film he watched.
Pookie Wood said, I never watched this movie. Looks like... You didn't watch... You
Oh,
haven't
really?
watched Days of Future Past? Really?
Oh, it's a good one.
Wow. You definitely watched Days of
Yeah.
Future Past, bro. It is so good.
It's really good.
Gray said X2 Nightcrawler White... Oh,
Yes, the Nightcrawler
Yeah,
White House
X2,
scene. Yes,
that was the opening scene.
That
of
is dope.
one. Yes,
that
where
one
he's-
is dope. That one is
super dope. I forgot about that shit.
That one was really cool.
Damn, Days of Future Past has two dope scenes. Also, the Quicksilver scene in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Dope.
And that was the first one, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
That was
super
the best.
dope.
Yeah, that one was dope.
Super
Time in a
dope.
bottle.
Yeah, Time in a Bottle is playing. Yeah. Pookie Wood said, hopefully purple and pink. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we got D Sizzle. Oh, we read that one. Times 2D. One of my boys is watching. So you guys hear me talk about one of my boys all the time, or talk about my boys all the time. And David is Times 2D in the chat right now. He said, "Proud of you, Coach D. Keep being the person you is." David,
that's
I
awesome.
appreciate that. And David is, I'm not supposed to play favorites, but David has always been one of my favorite players that I've had the privilege of coaching. And when I say privilege, I really do mean privilege, because he knows this. One of the most talented kids I've had. I had at one point I had the number one kid in the state on my team, on a different team from him. But in my opinion, David is also one of the top kids. Not just in my opinion, he's one of the top kids from his class in the state as well. And it was proven every single time David got on the court. You know, his passing, he would see shit that I didn't see. His defense, you know, David would go down there, and he wasn't a big guy. When I say he's not a big guy, he's not a post player. He's a shooting guard, point guard type. And David would go down there and be like, "Coach, let me go down there and rebound." And David would pull us like 4, 5, 6, you know, pulling rebounds down, rebound after rebound, offense and defense. Like, that is, when I say that's my guy, that's my guy. Like,
that's awesome.
That's my dude, bro.
That's
so
awesome
I appreciate you, D. And I'm definitely gonna be up, gonna come see you on the 13th. I'm riding with your mom up there, so I'm gonna come watch you play for sure.
Awesome.
So yeah, guys. Appreciate all y'all being here tonight. I definitely, I gotta run up to the city. I got something I gotta do real quick. So I gotta go make some moves, run some errands. But yeah, I appreciate all of you guys being here, hanging out tonight. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Well, I'll be back here tomorrow with you guys, and we'll talk some more news, things that are out, and everything like that. So, as always, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you're new here, we appreciate you being here. All the new subscriptions that we've gotten just from last night alone, we got I think we gained like 20-30 subscribers last night.
Wow.
Yeah, and then just within this stream, almost 10. So appreciate everybody that is subscribed. Appreciate all you guys being here. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with you guys to hang out and talk some more news. As always, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody. Be safe. Much love. Appreciate you guys so very much. See you tomorrow.